The views and opinions expressed by tonight's guest and topic of discussion do not necessarily represent the official policy or position of Spaced Out Radio, Spaced Out Weekend, Spaced Out Radio Limited, its hosts, syndicated carriers, or anyone associated with this broadcast. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of this broadcast or podcast without the express written consent of Spaced Out Radio or Spaced Out Radio Limited is strictly prohibited. Listener discretion is advised.
BUMBLEFOOT.
This is not a test. This is reality.
It's the weekend, and we are going beyond the strange with host Dave Cruz on Spaced Out Saturday Nights.
Dave's the killer! Yeah! Dave's the killer! Dave's a mess.
The clocks, they never stop, they barricade my face.
You can follow Dave on Twitter at StrangeDave70. Hit him up on Skype, Strange Days 2015. And you can follow Dave on our website, spacedoutradio.com.
Things are prey. Push until I break. I feel them start to scrape. The core of all I am is chiseling away. And every speck of life is gone right away in time. We turn to metal, turn to stone, it's a grand design. A maze of petrified hearts and I'm lost inside. We all self-destruct, love is to deny.
The probability is low, but the discoveries of the Kepler mission suggest that there are billions of habitable planets in our galaxy alone. And there are at least 100 billion galaxies in the visible universe. So it seems likely that there are others out there.
Now, get your tinfoil hats on tight as Spaced Out Saturday with Dave Cruz begins right now.
You're here to turn me inside out and then turn me away. For all my life I choke on clouds of savior smoke until my breath and soul was burning away. And every speck of life is gonna rot away in time. Return to murder, turn to stone, it's a grand design. A maze of petrified hearts and I'm lost inside. We all self-destruct and love is to deny.
I'm not going to lie, I'm going to miss that. Hey, everyone, welcome. This is Spaced Out Radio's Spaced Out Saturday Night. I am your host, Dave Cruz. Nice to be here with you all on this Saturday, October 11, the 25th, Sunday. The 26th. If you're on the East Coast, we are live from the Napa Valley wine country just outside the mystical Sonoma Mountains. Let's welcome in everyone listening on our terrestrial stations, WQEE 99 Rock the Key Noon in Georgia, home of the Walking Dead. We are live as well on the United Public Radio Network on 107.7 FM in New Orleans and over 160 countries around the world. You can also listen to us live on spacedoutradio.com, Spreaker.com, KTLK, The Fringe.fm, Renegade Talk Radio, the High Plains Talk Radio Network. Like our music, then rock with us to Mr. Ron Bumblefoot THAL, formerly of Guns N' Roses, currently of Art of Anarchy. Bumblefoot is the official sound of the mighty SOR. Also, you can check us out on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio on Instagram. You can also follow me, Strange Dave 70, on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Spaced Out Radio. Tune us in on TuneIn. Download our shows from iTunes. We're also on radioguide.fm, TalkStream Live, and on Stitcher. And of course, our website is spacedoutradio.com. And if you go to patreon.com for as low as $1 a month, you can become a patron of Spaced Out Radio. If you want to take part in the show, please sign into one of our chat rooms on the website at Spreaker.com, the UPRN chat room, and on Facebook at SOR Space Travelers Club Facebook page. Or if you're on Twitter, just go to the hashtag Spaced Out Radio, hashtag Spaced Out Radio, and I'll get to your questions in there as well. If you head over to our website for just $5 a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. And as of right now, you can go to the Spaced Out Radio store and pick up a t-shirt, poster, or an SOR sticker. We have the Encounter online that deals with everything paranormal, courtesy of our editors Eric Markham and Everett Thiemer. You can check out Dave Scott's latest blog there as well. And if you've had an experience you can't explain, fill out an SOR Sightlines report. Tim Doyle of the UFO Seekers and Leslie Mitchell Clark's Contact TV has some great viewing material as well, all on www.spacedoutradio.com. All right. Nice to get that out there. I see we got Ron in the chat room. We got Mr. Joe Roop, Kevin, Catalina, Deb. Hey, how you doing, Deb? I know I seen Dennis earlier. Glad that y'all can make it. Thanks to everyone in the Facebook chat there. Michael McNeil, Bob Davis. You guys are always loyal listeners on Saturday night. I greatly appreciate that. All those who are at the hashtag Spaced Out Radio on Twitter as well. Thank you all again. And I just want to say that it's been an amazing experience being on Saturday night with everyone here at Spaced Out Radio, at the Spaced Out Radio family. And I'm not leaving the family. I'm just leaving Saturday nights like every Saturday night. But I will be back to fill in for Dave or Joe or whoever needs the night off, sometime in the next year. So when I get my ducks in line, it's all good. And always you can join me on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern, on Beyond the Strange on KTLK, thefringe.fm. So just go to www.beyondthestrange.com for more information about that. I really am going to miss you guys on Saturday nights, but I got to do what I got to do. So I love you. Like I said, I'm going to miss that music for sure, but hopefully I'll get to hear it when I come back to fill in for Joe, if he so wants me to, or, Mr. Scott as well. Okay, enough of all the teary, gooey stuff. You know how much I love you guys and stuff, and I know I'll be talking to you guys soon. But tonight we have an amazing show for you. Paul Francis Young is the creator and the founder of the Facebook group, The Path of the Sun Keepers. He hails out of the United Kingdom. Paul is versed in other languages, including Hebrew, Latin, and Spanish. To be a sun keeper, idea and concept is to walk the path of Teperath, is to be a luminary, as the Creator has sent us great luminaries before, great and wise men and women showing us the truth in their writings, teachings, the truth of the occult, religious, spiritual, metaphysical mysteries, and how to walk that honest path, and to be a guiding light to others and throw light upon darkness and ignorance, as only light can drive out the darkness of ignorance. You can find out more about Paul and his group on Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Paul Francis Young. Please, everyone, help me welcome Mr. Paul Francis Young.
What's up, Dave? How's you, mate?
Paul, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Doing great, man. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's always an amazing experience talking to you anytime I can, and learning more about mysticism and hermetics and the occult and magic and everything that I just don't know about. You gladly fill me in whenever I ask, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no bother, Dave. It doesn't bother me helping people out, especially after I've got an interest in the subject. Do you know what I mean? And seems to be a lot of people today have got a keen interest in esoteric, occult, whatever, mysticism. Yeah, seems to be the big thing today. Yeah, and I benefited it from the page, right enough. Posting and stuff, do you know what I mean? I've noticed a great interest in also people who are studying and taking an interest in this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's greatly important that people understand that there's a lot more to the physical world, this world, than, meets the eye. There's a spiritual world as well, and the two are one.
Yeah, kind of. There's also, for me as well, there's a lot of people who, let's say, are religious, who go to church and whatnot. And so for them to do that every Sunday, that says that they've got faith, Dave. Do you know what I mean? They've got faith in something bigger than them, outside of them. But for them to have faith in something outside of them and bigger than them is to have faith in a thing called the mystery. So really, everybody who says that, this stuff's whatnot, it's evil, it's Satanism, it's this, it's that, they still go to church on a Sunday because of the mystery of it all. And this is, for me, all occult is. It just means to study. Do you know what you're saying? It just means hidden. So you're studying hidden doctrines and teachings with, let's say, certain religious people or whatnot says we don't want the masses understanding this because we can control people with beliefs. So through their religious beliefs or whatnot, we can control them and bring them round to our way of thinking, where you could say a little bit of occultism in a way. Makes you think for yourself.
Right.
Yeah, you're thinking for yourself. Eventually, if students take this study on, eventually they'll start to think for themselves. You've got to, because you're looking at all different teachings and you're trying to correlate which ones are true or no. So you're going to come across a lot of bullshit. And this is what even Manly B. Hall spoke about it. He says all true veterans of occult esoteric teachings are well versed in bullshit. Because a lot of it is bullshit, but there's a lot of gems in there as well. And this is what this comes down to, innit? Studying to find these gems.
Yeah, it's all fascinating to me, Paul. And I barely dabble because this is all new to me. And meeting you and Joe and other people since then, I've been learning, a little bit here and there, but I'm not really greatly versed in everything. So to have you on and to have Joe on and other people talk about all these things, it's really enlightening to me and to the audience. By the way, for everyone out there listening right now, Mr. Roop will be joining me and Paul later on this evening. So just wanted to throw that out there. But right now, Paul, I want to know more about you. How did you start learning about the occult and all about the esoteric?
No, to be honest, I've always been a weird one, Dave. Even since I was a child, I had things happen to me as a kid Do you know what I mean? The whole heart and stuff, and I died 3 times as a baby. Yeah, and since then I've always kind of been a bit spiritual, because I seen things. Yeah, I was talking to my friend Jacob today about this, and I was, for looking back in my memory as a kid, I seen things. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a baby, but I can still remember certain things from back then, and I've always had a bit of a good memory on me. Do you know what I mean? My mum used to say you've got memory on you like an elephant. So it's been one of those ones, and then I went to a Catholic school, and I was getting all this bullshit drummed into me as a kid. And as a kid, you just go along with it and that, and then you get a bit older and you ask questions, and 2 and 2 makes 10. You know what I mean? So somebody doesn't stand up, and then you start. Well, I started looking myself. Do you know what I mean? I suppose it was like my dad had like a few occult books and stuff. Nothing too serious. Do you know what I mean? But from reading them, I gleaned knowledge to go looking for more serious esoteric books. When I just started reading, so yeah, from a young age, Dave. Basically, yeah, from a young age, I mind you, like I was 14. And it's not really easy.
Even when you were young, when you were a baby, you already had near-death experiences.
Yeah, but I remember seeing things as a kid, right enough, and then we moved to this old house in Scotland, this old town called East Calder. And it's actually mentioned in the story of Macbeth. This is how old this town is, East Calder. Like, it's called Codder. In Macbeth it says, "Fanny Codder, he'll be king hereafter." And I was brought up in this town, and we stayed in a house which was really, really old. We were the first family who wasn't like a Thompson, if I recall. So this house was built. The house was like 300 years old. So we were the first family who wasn't like a member of this Thompson family had been handed down for like generation and generation. So when we moved into this old house, it was fully antiques and stuff, but it was like freaky. Yeah, things would happen and then get moved about, haunted type thing. My mum got the Catholic priest out and he blessed the place and stuff like that. And you could see since then I've always had a strange curiosity and the paranormal as well as esoteric occult stuff. Do you know what I mean? So from a young age, Dave, I've always kind of been tuned into this kind of stuff. But where we grew up in Scotland, you don't really speak about it. You don't really say, "Oh, I've been reading this book about religion or God." People say, "You mental." You know what I mean? They would think you were a bit crazy. But that's just always been my thing. As I say, it's at a young age, like I was 14 and I read Lao Tzu. Yeah, right, I read the Tao Te Ching, and I must say it made a big impression on me, even at that young age. Kind of understood it, you know. And through studying esoteric, there's a lot of these dualistic concepts and paradoxical ideas about certain things. And yeah, you have to try and unify them in a way. So that's in a process which helps people think for themselves, so they're no longer as what some people today in the internet would call a sheep. Which I don't like. I don't like that term, to call anybody a sheep. It's kind of, yeah, ignorant.
Is that because that, you know, we should all be enlightened, you know, but unfortunately, like you said, even the church has kept us ignorant.
Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to keep you ignorant to certain things. Let's look at magic. It's like people say, "Oh, I've never really looked at magic, whatnot." But every day you speak to people. Well, there's a form of magic. That's magic. The whole world and universe was created through words and from the vibrations of these words. It's still in creation today. Let's look at Bereshit bara Elohim, the beginning of the Bible. That's do you know what I mean? That's telling you there. In the beginning was the word. So yeah. But the Bereshit bara Elohim one, that's the 7 words God created the heaven and the earth and stuff. And you start to look at Genesis. It's very fascinating, especially if you look at Kabbalistic way. Yeah, looking at how he created the Sephiroth, created them first. Yeah.
Yeah, the tree of life, right? The tree, the tree. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or Etz Hadat, Tov Ra, or Tob. Tob, which means good, and Ra, which means evil. But when you look at some of the great scholars through the years, like Maimonides, he says we can't call it good and evil because there's no such thing as good and evil. Really, these are hard concepts to try and define. Really, and you say, well, no, really, but psychologists would say the same today. Let's break this good and evil concept down. It's kind of complex. Well, he said everything should be true and false. Yeah, it's what's true and what's false. We know that certain things are false, so instead of calling it evil, just call it false. Yeah, and this is where a lot of like people get a bit, let's say, perplexed by studying occult literature, because a lot of it does come into this good and evil concept. And then you've got people like Aleister Crowley. He never really helped. Even though he's a great Kabbalist, he was a great writer, but he never really helped promote this art. Do you know what I mean? And people still to this day think, when they hear a cult, they think you're either some Harry Potter type asshole, or yeah, or some Gandalf type dude. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those ones. It's not about that if you want to really look at it.
I think this is the perfect time to let our listeners know that what we're discussing tonight is Hermetic magic, alchemy. It isn't like Harry Potter, but in a way it is, especially from the way you and Joe have described it to me, because there's other, I don't know if you want to call it dimensions or realms, where it does get like Harry Potter, from what I understand. I personally I've never astral traveled or anything like that, but I can only take the word of other people and the people who have come before us and who've written about, these things. Yeah. So the audience, for the audience, I'd like to, let them know that we are talking about Kabbalah and magic. And later on, we'll get into the Keys of Solomon and a lot of different things that Paul has been talking about with the path of the Sun Keepers as well.
Well, look, I was saying there, magic's words, right? So in this realm, what you say, it's like abracadabra, what I speak, I create type thing, right? Mm-hmm. So let's look at it this way on other realms or other dimensions. This is why we're kept on this dimension, you could say. And it's only those who have created a Merkava and been able to control the mind to a certain extent that you're allowed into other dimensions. And the best analogy I could come up with this is like, and everybody will know this, it's Ghostbusters. It's Ghostbusters when he's standing on the roof and Venkman says to him, don't think of it, nobody think of anything. Don't think of anything because you're going to create it.
Right.
And one of them thinks of the giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and well, it's like that. So if you're going into another dimension, right, and you're knowing full control of your Merkava, or the chariot, which was referenced in the book of Daniel and Ezekiel's vision and stuff like this, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're going into these dimensions and you're knowing full control of your faculties, then fear is another one. Fear's a great one, so if you're full of fear or whatnot, then you've got to create stuff in these dimensions, which they don't want in these dimensions, because in these dimensions, maybe these ideas aren't there. Do you know what I mean? You're bringing them there like fear. So it's one of those ones that want to keep you here. They want to make sure that you're kept inside this matrix box, you could call it. Yeah, little matrix box, I believe. Keep us trapped and see if you can manage through your life to break the cycle of this. And then, like the great prophets, they've managed to leave on a chariot. Let's look at Moses left in a chariot. Let's look at Abraham left in a chariot. Even Muhammad left in a chariot. No, left in the chariot. Interesting. No, left in spaceships, you could say, or whatnot. Yeah. In today's age, let's look at archetypes. There's millions of archetypes for these things. You could call them little green aliens. You could call them gigantic lizard peoples. Mm-hmm. You could call them the Elohim, which what I would call them. Yeah, and that's the best way of putting it, which is a biblical term, Elohim, which means gods, plural, gods. rulers and kings. So God's put rulers and kings. It's like in the beginning, God sent this create man in our image.
Mm-hmm.
He never said this create man in. I'm not creating man in my image. We reckon we're created in the image of God. We read the Bible right. It says this create man in our image. Who's he speaking to?
Plural.
Yeah. But who's he speaking to? He's speaking to the gods. He's speaking to what he's created before us. He's speaking to you could say the Sephiroth, which is a part of the Seraphim, which comes under, angels and stuff like this, which we're going to speak about later.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's fascinating, but it's even fascinating when you've got a couple of people who understand the subject and they're hashing it out. It's like when you read the Zohar and you're reading the stories, you take them as allegorical. Do you know what I mean? People say, it was written with Moses de Leon and he made it up himself. And Moses de Leon says, he translated it for other texts. Whether he made it up or not, it's a fantastic book and it puts forth for great Kabbalistic concepts which people were trying to describe thousands of years ago before, like, say, even Christianity was conceptualized by the Romans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, how far back does the Kabbalah go as far as the text? Because I've always, again, I grew up in a Protestant church. I knew about the Catholic Church, and I know that they have texts as well, ancient texts, and they keep it from other people. But the Kabbalah was that mainly in the Jewish tradition?
It was mainly Jewish tradition. No, Jewish tradition. When they were in bondage in Babylon, the school of thought really come up then. Mm-hmm. But you could look at it, right? What's happening is people go on today about cultural appropriation and all this pish, right? Well, let's look at the Jews. When they went into Babylon, they started taking certain aspects of Babylonian culture and introducing it into Judaism or their thought. That's how they ended up worshipping Baal and killing babies and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So, for all these different schools of thought, we've all learned from each other. But the tree of life, you could say, first arrives in like ancient Samaria. Okay. And then they were conquered by the Assyrians. And then I think the Babylonians conquered them. So it's like, you just look where the tree just came from the Sumerians downwards. And and a lot of, you could say, Kabbalistic, like, let's look at the Sephiroth and stuff like this. Well, that's quite Pythagorean. And you could say when the Jews were in Greece, they were, through debating and speaking to other scholars, knowledge comes, innit? So we all learn from each other. Yeah, that's what we all need to get. Every culture's, this is how a big part of, let's say, occultism or esoteric studies is anthropology. Because you're studying other people's religions and I'm not Jew. For the past, 10 years I've been reading Jewish books. Talmud and all this carry on. I'm not Jew. Do you know, but I'm interested in this subject that I'll go and study another man's culture. Do you know what I mean? I've also read the Quran. So it's one of those ones, Dave.
Right.
A lot of this comes under anthropology. You need to be interested in other people's cultures. And let's look at it. Everybody in the world, no matter if you're black, white, or whatever, there's always some culture in the world which is different for you, but you've got an affinity to it. Let's look at, like, even Chinese culture. A lot of people are interested in Chinese alchemy and Chinese philosophy. Do you know what I mean? You've got to glean knowledge from these things. So a big bit for me, occult esoteric studies comes under anthropology, because you're looking for archetypes, these universal archetypes, like number 7, that's an archetype. The Elohim, you could say, were 7. You've got the menorah, which represents the Elohim, and the 7 lights which sit around the throne of God, which is really reference to Elohim. And then you've got Melik Taus in the 7 colours. So there's anthropology. Let's look at this. Let's look at Enoch and look at Thoth. Hermes Trismegistus. A lot of people have said Hermes and Enoch, they're all the same person. They've all done the same things. They were all the gods of the same representation. So Enoch was the god of scribes, writing, oratory. And let's look at Hermes. He was the same. He was the god of scribes, Nortrain. So it's just looking and trying to find correlation and then reading on these subjects and saying, oh, it's the same shit. Do you know what I mean? Just told in a different way to a different people. Do you know what I mean? It's like, not everybody likes curry. Not everybody likes pasta. So, yeah. That's the way I look at it with these books. They're telling these stories on a different way. But you need to hear the eye to see this. Because if you don't, then you're going to hear the mystery men and the masters of belief and the magicians are going to come down and wrap you up in the bullshit of beliefs and keep you trapped in their little matrix box of bullshit, and you'll believe it. And yeah, some people, that's their thing, innit? They want to believe it. It makes them feel better.
Why would there secret societies that would want to keep the truth from the people? Is it to protect ourselves from ourselves?
You could say it's a lot of ways. It's to protect ourselves from ourselves. It's to protect us from doing silly stuff like this. It's like I was listening to Joseph's show the other week, and he was talking about how there's a big thing today with certain occultists, and they put on shows, and basically they'll do the shem ham thrash, and they'll get the Enochian stuff out, and they'll call up angels and demons in front of crowds of people like it's some art show. It's like, this is serious business. This isn't an art show for some hipster asshole to look all fancy in front of these art type rich people. Do you know what I mean? That's bastardizing the arts. So yeah, there's a bit of that. There's also a lot of people can't handle the truth, Dave. Do you know what I mean? They like God to be wrapped up in a wee box, to be a wee man, and to be ineffable and all known and all seen and all good. And all good, Dave, all good. How do you know God's good to me? Read the Bible, he's quite a raffle bastard. And then there I go saying he, because that's another thing we do. I can't say the word, anthropomorphize things. We see God's a man and we do it when it's nothing. God's incorporeal, but yet we want to fit it into these boxes. So there's another thing. People sometimes it's like Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the truth. It's true, mate.
Can't handle the truth. If that wasn't a very truthful line, I mean, I don't know what is.
Look at the God, right? This is a weird one. Look at the name. This is a Kabbalistic thing. You look at the Hashem, the names of God. So let's look at the name El Shaddai. Right?
Okay.
El Shaddai is the God of the Old Testament. That's the God of Abraham. That's the God who's very wrathful and who's like, I'm just going to turn you to salt and smite you, do crazy shit to you for being a wrong'un. Do you know what I mean? You could say. So this El Shaddai character, what's this? Lord of the Mountain. It means Lord of the Mountain or Lord of the Field. So you start to break it down. El, that's back to the Elohim, so that's plural, right? And then you've got the Shaddai. But so you can break. This is where it gets interesting. So Shad, you go, what does Shad mean? It means breast. So here's a God with breasts, and Dai means enough. So here, as the Kabbalists or the Jewish scholars would say, here's a God who gives with breasts, who nourishes you like your mother nourishes you and gives you enoughness. So you look at the Bible and the first time kind of enough is said, or die, the word die said, is when God speaks, but God's incorporeal, so doesn't he speak. So it's another thing that represents God, as I was saying in the beginning. God speaking to other things. He's saying in the beginning we'll create stuff in our images, or your images. And people say that's blasphemous. But if God's not got an image, what else is he going to go creating? He's going to create in the images is what's round about him, which he's already created, isn't it? We were created on the sixth day. So, yeah, interesting. But back to Shaddai. So that's Lord of enoughness and gives you hanging right. But when you break the name down in Aramaic, Shaddai means, or Shad, means demon. So, in Aramaic, which is kind of similar to Hebrew, except some say that Aramaic was created to confound the angels, so the angels can't understand what you're saying. And that's another interesting one, which is kind of deep. Yeah.
Very deep.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You start to reference it to the tree of life. El Shaddai would represent dinner, which would be judgment. Yeah, kind of, she's judgment. Yeah. On the tree of life, which would represent Emma, it's kind of representing the top triad. Yeah, the top 3 spheres of the tree of life, which would be Kefa chocolate dinner.
You know,
everything comes through dinner.
I want to try to let the listeners understand what we're doing is we're going back to the beginning, right, Paul? To lay down the foundation. And when we talk about the tree of life, when we talk about all of these, people that came before us, and all this ancient text, it's so they can get a better grasp on what they know of as far as magic and hermetic magic and mysticism and that sort of thing. That everything seems new agey today. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are going for that, but they don't understand that this has been around forever. Yeah,
but the new agey stuff's kind of interesting. The new agey stuff's kind of They say a lot of Freemasons and that have said they're looking for a time, they call it like a tiny reason, where people start to become reasonable and start to look at things rationally and say, wait a minute, there's something to this, or it's bullshit, or it means something else. So, really, you could see that this new age stuff has been highly promoted. It has been, there's a lot of Jesuit push stuff. And the Jesuits, they're trying to create a new form of Catholicism. They're saying some mad shit. This Pope's saying some mad shit. Yeah, saying some mad shit. But the Jesuits are another freaky order, and they've got rid of loads of Catholic. You could say there was a multitude of orders in the Catholic Church. You had the Franciscans, and you didn't get them anywhere. The Jesuits got rid of all these orders. And an interesting thing, they said that there would never be a Jesuit would become a pope because they've got a thing called the Black Pope. And a lot of people, you go and look this up, the Black Pope, it's a Dutchman, or it was a Dutchman named Peter von Wackenbach or some shit like that. And he was the Black Pope for a bit. And this is how the Jesuit order were said there would never be and look now they've got a Pope, which isn't a very good thing, I don't think. Organised religion is created by men just to make money. Yeah, really, just to make money.
It seems that's what they're doing today. Is it's all about money, And I could name a few people. I could name a few people right now who are, making hand over fist, and it's a shame.
It's a shame
because it's not going to help them in the end. What people need to understand is, there is such a thing as spiritual warfare going on today.
Yeah, there is. Oh, it has been going on. But a lot of people don't want to include in that kind of stuff with the spiritual warfare, but because sometimes it comes down to you're the person in war. It's the jihad's with you. It's you struggling down here with your beliefs and whatnot. So you have to fight against, or even go and research and say, well, how do I know that's true? It's like now you've got all these people and all these going on about the flat earth. And it's like, all right. And then you've got obviously science, and you look at how light works, physics and stuff. And it completely dissolves their case. But it's interesting how millions or thousands of people now believe that the Earth's flat. And there's a lot of people who will probably want to argue with me right now. Say, the Earth is flat. And so that's up to them if they want to believe it some days. But I'm not buying that. I'm going for looking at physics and whatnot and seeing what they're saying. Do you know what I mean? Rather than some dude on YouTube. But that's, for me, what's my thing. I prefer reading. It's like I want to read these old books. It's like Genesis is the mystery. The whole mystery of the Bible's the first part of it. Genesis in book 1. Do you know what I mean? Read that. That is a mystery, and that is what that's a big part of the Zohar. And there's certain aspects before even the Zohar even came about. You had the Sifra Ditfa Nutfa, which is known as the Book of the Concealed, right?
Okay.
And that's all to do with God. It's all to do with like Zelem, the word Zelem in Hebrew, which means image. Back to this, well, if God's incorporeal and he's not got an image and stuff like that, then what is the image that we're given? The image is reason and understanding and all these things. Do you know what I mean? It's incorporeal things. It's no physical things like, oh, we look like God. Back to anthropomorphizing God.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, back to that stuff. So there's like, you've got these old books, and it's like some of them when I first came across them, I was pure fascinated with like, let's look at the Sefer Raziel, Halamach, right? And this book said it was given to Adam, and there is references to Adam being given a book for an angel, and in this book you could say it's been kept for the multitudes for millions of years, and yes, and if you're an occultist and you want to go looking, you'll find that book. Do you know what I mean? And that was what a large part of what we're going to speak about soon with Enochi and keys and stuff like this. It's a big part of it comes through the Sefer Raziel. It was all how to do ceremonies and burnt offerings, but also had a lot of other magical stuff in it. It's basically a book on magic. Some say it's the most magical book in the world. Yeah. There's a lot of scholars would say it's one of the most magical texts in the world. And then you've got another book called the Sefer Yetzirah, which is attributed to the Prophet Abraham, which is known as the Book of Formation. And basically it's back to alphabet. Yeah, it's back to letters, and that's everything was formed with, as it says in this book, everything was formed with the Sefer, the Sipper, and the Sapphire. You know, Sefer, Sapphire, Sipper. Yeah, which is the letter, the word, and the number. Back to there's a lot of maths involved in Kabbalah. Pi comes up quite a bit. Do you know what I mean? When you read the Bible, it's these things like this. It's codes for me. It's the Bible's just there is a code to the Bible. Mind, there was a book a few years ago, the Bible Code. And it isn't. It's a Kabbalistic thing, and to fully understand it, you need to understand certain texts. And one of them is the Sefer Yetzirah, because it's explaining how phonetics works and how words work and how you'll find strange things in these words.
So what other secret societies do you believe follow all the Kabbalah and all these ancient texts? I mean, there seems to have been some of these societies like the Rosicrucians, the builders of the Adytum. They're even pagans and Wiccans. Yeah. Do they all use Kabbalah or all these Hermetics?
No, you could just say learn it. Those who really, really want to delve into the art of magic and stuff and will be really well, some of them will be, some of them will be well versed in just magic texts. Yeah, there's all different arts out there, but the real mystery is in the Bible, innit? That big book, which has for millions of years hypnotised millions of people into wars and all sorts. Dave, that's like what the Bible's done over the years. It's created empires like America, like where I'm sitting just now. I'm in America now. So this whole American empire, whatever you want to call it, this nation of yours was founded on the Bible. It was founded on religious, this concepts for this book. Do you know what I mean? So that's, for me, it's the true art. Is looking at religious texts and being able to decipher them. And that's also including the Quran. The Quran isn't a part of it. There's 13 attributes of mercy, the talk about it. The number 13 comes up quite a bit. This is why the rose comes up, the rose cross. Well, there's 13 petals in the rose, which is pointing to the 13 attributes of mercy. That's it, pure and simple. Both. Yeah, and to understand the 13 attributes of mercy is to understand the Ein Sof type thing, right? So let's look at the Quran. Even in the Quran, it talks about Allah's given us 13 attributes of mercy. In the Quran as well. Do you know what I mean? So this is, as an anthropologist, would look at these texts and go, look at the correlation between this Kabbalistic text upon the rose and the thorn, which is a very deep concept. Yeah, what the rose symbolises. The rose is quite a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yes. Lots of symbolism.
That's what I mean. So these people just use these symbols, you could say, for... Yeah, keep it between people who understand it, who are not going to use it for nasty shit or whatnot. So that's how some of these orders came about. Some of these orders today, there's loads of good orders out there. There's loads of great secret societies who are no sacrificing babies and doing crazy shit. They're doing like Gnostic masses and certain ceremonies at certain time in the year to make good things happen in the world. Do you know what I mean? Peace on earth and all this blissness. But do you know what I mean? There's also these people out there who use this stuff to mind fuck people who are a bit gullible. Do you know what I mean? And they believe in all sorts of shit and let's go to war with these Muslims. They believe in crazy shit.
Yeah.
So really... people demonize people with religion. So it's one of those ones. Right. Black magic is not quite what everybody thinks. Black magic is this look at fake news. There's black magic in it. There's getting people to believe you in bullshit. That's black magic. That's for me what black magic is. It's getting people to believe in abnormal stuff which isn't true. Which isn't truth. Which is what? Back to what we said ages ago, it was Tob, which is evil. It was Tob, which is good, and Ra, which is evil. So it's one of those ones, Dave, innit? You don't want to be evil to people, you want to love your neighbour as you love yourself. That's what Christ said, innit? The 10 Commandments, he broke the whole law down to 2. Love and fear God, and love your neighbour as you love yourself. See if you can do these 2 things. Happy days, man.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really quick, Paul. There was a couple of questions in the Spreaker chat. One of them comes from Catalina. Maybe we can get to these real quick before our first break. Catalina wants to know again, what is Hermetic magic?
Hermetic magic, I would say it was unifying the entire self with God and fully understanding yourself. I would look at it as an alchemical process more than magic. It's fully understanding yourself, the universe, and preparing yourself for when you leave this dimension and time and place, so you're well prepared for wherever you're going. If that's unifying back to the source and becoming Echad, one with God once again, one with the infinite and all of that, but still keeping some essence of your individuality, you could say, or let's say you could be creating a Merkava or a chariot, so in the point of death you can enter into this chariot and leave. That's one aspect. Some magicians look at this. Yeah, but really, when you look at it, you need to really fully study Merkava literature or vehicle literature, because there's only so many places you can go. Yeah, they've got the palaces of the king, 6 palaces of the king, right? One's hidden, one's concealed, and it's really deep stuff. It's metaphysical. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind, preparing you for dimensional travels, you can say, because it's this is what's all about, it? We're energy. Energy doesn't die. So we're energy and it doesn't die, it just reconverts. So in the point of us dying, we're just the energy which is us. It's just gone somewhere else, isn't it? Because energy can't die. You're energy. So you're not dying, Dave. just leaving this time and space and going somewhere else. And people will say, but oh, you've got a Ouroboros time matrix. I don't think it comes down there. I think it comes down to your karma and how you perceive things. And if you want to go into these other dimensions in time or space, or feel like you've not quite absolved all your sins in this place, or you want to come down and try and live another life down here, or yeah, karma's an interesting one. There was a show a couple of weeks ago somebody had, and it was speaking about this, and it was saying you pick your own karma. You die, it's like you look back in your life day, and then for me that's kind of really true. It's the good and evil thing is you've got to get judged, but who judges? Yeah, we judge us.
We judge ourselves
because we're the Elohim. Well, we're the Elohim at the end of the day. We are like, as Onkelos, the proselyte, said years and years ago, when he would argue with the Pharisees when they were talking about the concept of the Elohim. He says, we are the Elohim, but unlike the Elohim, we can't discern between what true good and evil is, or as Maimonides broke it down, true, truth, and false, which was a great thing for Francis Bacon, who was a major part of the Rosicrucian order. So everybody thinks a lot of these people are Satanists and stuff like this, when really they're just wanting to get a better understanding of what God is, and a better understanding of what they are, and the purpose and reason for us being here. What are we here for? Who are we? Are we some talking monkey like Darwin says? Are you a talking monkey, Dave? You know what I mean? Are you a talking monkey like Darwin says, mate? Are you something angelic and beautiful?
I don't agree with that.
Yeah. It's one of those ones, well, if we have evolved through whatever, then we've evolved to what we are because of the grand design. So it still comes back to the grand design, isn't it? So it's one of those ones, if we have evolved through monkeys, then grand design's made us superior to them, and we're the superior species on this animal. But what makes us superior for these things is that music, and we can philosophize, and I don't know, I've never spoke to an elephant, mate, but an elephant sits and philosophizes about Ganesh and sits and says, oh, Ganesh is a great god. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yes, absolutely. And would you agree that there is a plethora of knowledge out there that we still don't know?
That's why I created both of these one peoples, because really we can only look at these old texts and then start to really interpret them today. It's like Carl Jung, when you look at all these alchemical texts, a lot of them, there's different alchemical processes. People say, oh, it's to make gold and stuff. No, it's to make you gold. You know what I mean? There's processes like the crow, Negredo, as it's known as Negredo, the crow, blackening. So that's that's understanding the blackening of your soul, the things you've done through the years, coming to terms with these fake personas that we've created through life. Maybe when we were younger, we were, don't know, Dave, maybe, I don't know, maybe when you were younger, Dave, you were a gangbanger, running about, home, smoking people, and you've changed. Do you know what I mean, homie?
I don't like to let people know my past. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That's what I mean, mate. It's one of those ones. So it's coming to terms with these fake yous you've created over the years, which is we think is us, but who really are you? Yeah. It's like that. Who's song? Can you see the real me? Yeah, right. But it's true. It's one of those ones, Dave. There's that, and the best person to write for me in the last 400 years about alchemy, anyway. Carl Jung. Shona. Yeah, Carl Jung wrote a book all about alchemy and all about these processes called.
Very interesting character.
Yeah, and it's like he talks about paradoxical things and beautiful things that we need to try and understand. Look at Christ and Satan. Where Christ and Satan share the same symbology, Dave, is both represented as the serpent, as wise as serpents, and as roaming lions. That's an interesting one, Dave. There's Christ and Satan himself sharing the same symbology, really.
I'd like to get into that. I'd like to get into that in the second hour. We are definitely coming up on a break here, Paul. And as I stated before, we can bring Joseph in with us, so he can also talk to us, and we can talk a lot about the symbolism that.
Talk about whatever you want, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Ask anybody
so
if
much.
there's a question.
So much. There's so much, Paul. It's amazing, you know, and that's why I'm bringing it to the audience tonight. I mean, they don't know it, but they're in for a treat. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, everyone. When we come back, we'll be talking with Paul Francis Young of the Path of the Sunkeepers, and this is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Cruz, and we'll be right back right after this.
365 days a year, we're in the field, investigating UFO sightings, talking to alien abductees, and visiting secret military locations like Area 51. We're UFO Seekers, official partner of Spaced Out Radio. Follow our daily search for the truth at ufoseekers.com or like us on social media. Catch us on Spaced Out Radio every third Monday of the month as we discuss Area 51, UFOs, and more. And also don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube.
From coast to coast to coast, Blacklight Uncharted is taking on the paranormal across Canada. From ghostly hauntings to the UFOs flying above in conjunction with MUFON Canada, we're closely investigating what's going on in the northern skies and checking out the apparitions that walk among us. Check out our videos right here at spacedoutradio.com. We want to know your thoughts, we want to hear your experiences, and we want you to share your stories. The answers are out there, and we intend to find them.
Would you like to become one of our space travelers? All you have to do is click on the Space Travelers icon at spacedoutradio.com. For only $5 a month, you can get access to some great prizes, as well as private monthly shows, newsletters, and a members-only section on our website. Become a space traveler today.
It's paranormal news at its finest. Welcome to The Encounter. At spacedoutradio.com, The Encounter online is SOR's trusted news source for everything weird and strange going on around the world. This is news editor Eric Markham. Our team of journalists are scouring the planet for those strange stories that rarely make the mainstream. No fear-mongering or fake news here. Head over to spacedoutradio.com and encounter The Encounter.
Want to learn more about aliens, cover-ups, conspiracies, cryptids, and the paranormal? All you have to do is tune in S4 as we take over the Spaced Out Radio night, starting at midnight Pacific, 3 a.m. Eastern, each and every Saturday night, right after Spaced Out Saturdays. Hi there, this is Eric Cooper from Forest Moon Paranormal. Join me, Corey Ruse, and friends as we discuss the hot topics of the night. It's fun, entertaining, and as dark as the night. Find us at spacedoutradio.com.
Hey, this is Canadian Paranormal Investigator Mike Moore. The third Wednesday of every month, I'll be teaming up with Dave Scott to bring you Ghosts of the Great White North. Each month, we will bring on guests from across Canada to discuss their ghostly encounters. Canada is a paranormal hotbed with stories you've never heard, so we're going to bring them to you. So get comfy on your Chesterfield, grab a donut, and join us, eh?
Are you an experiencer? Have you had run-ins with strange creatures you can't explain? ETs, Dogman, Bigfoot, werewolves? They're enough to scare the daylights out of anyone. Hi there, I'm Butch Witkowski from your Cop. And on the last Monday of every month, you can listen to me and the host, Dave Scott, talk about the weird and the strange being reported on Spaced Out Radio. I'm going to bring my investigations and sources, you bring your experiences, and we'll figure out the rest together. Strange Days on Spaced Out Radio. Come tune us in at spacedoutradio.com.
Have you had an experience you can't explain? Had a run-in with ghosts, maybe Bigfoot, or seen lights in the sky? Hi, I'm Mike Schmidt from the SOR Sightlines. I'm here to investigate your sighting. Head to spacedoutradio.com and fill out a report on the Sightlines. All your information is 100% confidential, and I will help you figure out what you've been seeing. File your report and let's find out the answers together.
Psychic Sundays, spiritual communication, ET contact, Sasquatch in your backyard. We will have it all on Cosmic Passport with me, Elizabeth Anglin. Each Sunday, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, at spacedoutradio.com, I will take you on a journey of enlightenment. The goal is learning from the soul on out. We'd love it if you joined our experience, Cosmic Passport, heard Sundays at spacedoutradio.com.
Are you interested in advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Head to our website at spacedoutradio.com and click on our advertising tab. There, you will find an assortment of ways you can get your product out there with us, from radio commercials to banners and social media. Have a product you like our hosts to endorse? We can do that too. Visit spacedoutradio.com for more details.
From British Columbia to Northern California, Pacific North Weird has Cascadia covered. Check out our feature videos at spacedoutradio.com, where I, Vincent Zunza, and my super sleuth partner Alexandra Sullivan track down the weird and strange stories from around the Pacific Northwest, from Bigfoot to Mel's Hole and everything in between. This is what makes life exciting. So why report the normal when we can report the Pacific North Weird right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Don't have time to listen to Spaced Out Radio live? Wherever you are, the car, the office, the shower, or even if you're traveling, we're right here for you. Each Spaced Out Radio show can be found on iTunes, TuneIn, and on our YouTube channel, Spaced Out Radio Show. It's the perfect way for you to catch up on our shows. For more information, just head over to our website, spacedoutradio.com, and tune in to us today.
Looking for nighttime adventure? Old school radio that delves into everything out of the norm? Then check us out at Spaced Out Radio. This is Dave Scott. Every Monday through Friday, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, we're going to take you on a wild ride ranging from conspiracies to true crime and every ghost, alien, and Sasquatch story in between. We're always live, and we're always interactive with you. So join us at spacedoutradio.com, where together, we own the night.
The views and opinions expressed by tonight's guests and topic of discussion do not necessarily represent the official policy or position of Spaced Out Radio, its hosts, syndicated carriers, or anyone associated with this broadcast. Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. And hit us up on Twitter using the hashtag SpacedOutRadio. Now, back to Dave Cruz and SOR.
Nice to be here tonight, everyone. Welcome back to Spaced Out Radio Saturday nights with me, Dave Cruz. Tomorrow night, Elizabeth Anglin has Psychic Sundays on Spaced Out Sundays Cosmic Passport, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern Time at spacedoutradio.com. You can also listen to me, Dave Cruz, as I host Beyond the Strange Radio Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Go to spacedoutradio.com/paranormal and click on the Beyond the Strange button for links and info to the show. We want to welcome everyone listening in on WQEE 99 Rock the Key down in Noonan, Georgia, home of The Walking Dead. We're also live on the United Public Radio Network on 107.7 FM in New Orleans and over 160 countries around the world. We are live on TalkStream Live, iHeartRadio, KTLK, TheFringe.fm as well. Find us on TuneIn and iTunes for download. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. Head on over to the website for some great features from videos from UFO seekers and Contact TV. Shop at our stores and pick up t-shirts, posters, and stickers. And don't forget to rock out to our resident guitar god, Mr. Ron BUMBLEFOOT THAL, who is the official music of Spaced Out Radio. Once again, I'd like to thank our guests for being with us tonight, Mr. Paul Francis Young, who is head of the Path of the Sun Keepers on Facebook. And also, as right now, I want to thank Mr. Joseph Roop for joining us tonight as well. Thanks for joining us, Joe.
You're welcome. I figured you needed a translator.
Oh my God. You gonna take that, Paul? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, he's
Paul's my brother. We give each other crap all the time.
Subtitles, man. You Americans need subtitles, right? And it's like, I've been with my missus a good few years now, like, and see, I still speak to her mum And she still looks at me with this perplexed look, and she just goes, okay.
I can tell you one night, check this out. Paul, we got into this argument where Paul and I was arguing back and forth, and he was calling me names in Scottish. And I literally had a Scottish dictionary out looking every one of them up, so it took me a little time to understand fluent Scottish, and now I think I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, you're good now, Joe. But that's because I love you, mate.
That's awesome.
By the way, congratulations on your recent marriage, Paul. How's the married life?
Yeah, it's
Congrats,
good, Joseph. Cheers, Dave. Yeah, it's different. It's different. It's good to be with the missus. Yeah, she's a wee diamond. I love her a bit. Yeah, she understands Scottish perfectly.
Nice.
Yeah,
She does.
She does. She's even smearing it.
Kind of doesn't have a
Scottish.
choice.
It's quite funny. Yeah, that's it. She's not really got a choice, mate. But I can get away with the odd wee one, and it perplexes her, and she's like, "What did you say?" And I'll maybe not tell her, and then she'll find out what it means, and she's like, "You cheeky." Yeah, I have not said another word. We goes after that, like.
Well, that's awesome, man. I'm really happy for you.
You want me to read this question, Dave, in the chat room? It's a long one.
I know which one you're talking about. We'll get to that in a second. There was some. I don't want to leave out our Facebook folk out there who are listening to the show and who are very diligent in coming into Facebook, and Bob Davis and Michael McNeil, Dale, and all of them who are out there listening right now. Thank you for joining us. Dale has an interesting question. He wants to know something about, does the retired Pope still speak ex cathedra?
Ex cathedra? I don't know, mate. I don't know, retired Pope. Ratzinger's an interesting one, to be perfectly honest. Because he's still kind of technically Pope, isn't he? He's not died. I always thought that the only way you could stop being a Pope is when you popped your clogs. Yeah. So, yeah, for me, Catholic churches, people want to talk about Satanists or whatever. I don't know what I really discredit the Catholic Church, but there's some dark people in that organisation. Just like every religion, even in America, it's still this. You've got these people with their shiny teeth, in their nice suits, and they're asking for donations, and they're calling it, it's plant a seed ministries, and they've got all these poor people giving them like their pennies. These people in America, when I've always thought America was this and that, and then you get here and you realise that it's not quite what you see on TV. And most Americans are really nice people. Yeah, they're polite, speak to you in the street and that, and they're hard working, and they work a lot. Do you know what I mean? There's no like in Europe, there's loads of bank holidays and stuff like that. So I just see these shiny teeth pastors just robbing the people and fleecing them, saying, "Oh, if you give me this $100, God will give you it back." And it's like, you're a leech. You're just a rat. These people are rats. Do you know what I mean? I seen Anonymous today posted something like there's 300,000 churches in America, and there's something like 200,000 homeless people. And that's exactly sums up Christianity today. People are only Christians on a Sunday. Yeah, that's it. You walk past these people every day and they'll not ask the question, why is this guy homeless? What's happening with the government? We've completely, if you had to go back, like, say, 200 years ago, people back then wouldn't put up with the shit we do from our governments, like, but we do you know what I mean? People pay enough taxes. And look at America, you rebelled against Britain because of taxes. Now you're one of the most taxed people on the planet. What's happened here?
We got lazy.
No, I don't know about going lazy, Joseph. I wouldn't say that. I would say the magicians and the mystery men have come in and have just, because it's nice here. Let's get it in and get this. It's nice here, man. I'm in Detroit, right? And people say, "Oh, Detroit's a shithole." I'm busy Detroit, but that's only because
I was going to say that if you think Detroit's nice, you should travel around the country a little bit.
That's what I mean. People say, "Oh, it's a shithole," and I say, yeah, actually, to use probably is a shithole, but actually, from where I come from, it's nice. Do you know what I mean? Not saying that I come from like a shithole. Scotland's nice, but bits that are like really, really no nice.
Every
Do you know
place
what I mean?
has their ghettos. Every place has their ghettos.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. It's a
doesn't matter where
universal
you're
thing.
Right. Bob Davis in the Facebook chat also has a question. He wants to know, what is Paul's take on the Quran? Is it worse than the Bible or about the same as in the essence of violence?
The violence in these books are, they are a bit crazy. There's some strange things in the book, even as a Kabbalist, they're perplexing. You just can't get your head around them. Do you know what I mean? And the Quran, as I said, I know why I got turned into the Islamic thing and that, because you get me in the wrong day, I can be extremely anti-Islamic. And that's just me, because I just see, through friends and knowing a lot of Muslims, I just see ignorance that their book's right and everybody else's book's wrong, and they pin their prophet up greater than everybody else's prophet, and there's just sheer cultural ignorance with some of it. Do you know what I mean? What they say is it's their religion, and it's coming into culture. It's a cultural thing. Back to anthropology again, you look at each other's culture. So some things you would say, oh, that's Islamic. It's just culture. It's part of their culture. Yeah. And cultures are always got to collide. They're always never got to get each other. Yeah. But the Quran, for me, there's beautiful bits to the Quran. There really is. There's some, just like all glorious books, they can't be all doom and gloom. Do you know what I mean? People only go to Scotland, they've got to go, oh, there's real beautiful bits to the books. And for this doom and gloom stuff, a lot of these parables, these are allegories and parables for us to look at, I believe. I don't think that a lot, especially in the Old Testament, that a lot of these characters existed. These are parables for you to look at life when you're coming across these situations. Just like Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, he was saying of the Miller's Tale and all of this, if you're this character and you come across this certain situation in life, then this is how you can know it, or this is how not to handle yourself. It's one of those ones, isn't it? You take it as you want. There's different ways to interpret it, where a lot of people want to interpret it literal. And these books are far from being interpreted literally. Come on, there's fucking donkeys in the Bible.
Yeah, I mean,
Shreks in the Bible.
Even Lon Milo Duquette, when he wrote The Key to Solomon's Key, what you can get from CCC Publishing, right? When he wrote that book, he actually set out to find historical evidence of Solomon, right? And the thing about it is Solomon's story is the biggest story in Western occult lore, especially Freemasonry and things like that. But the fact remains is there is no factual or historical evidence that Solomon ever existed.
Yep.
But the message is the biggest thing. There's no evidence that the man ever existed. Mm-hmm. Plenty of Hebrew tribes out there. You can go back and they found evidence for and stuff, but not Solomon. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
To be honest, Joseph, mate, that's one of the biggest mysteries that nobody in the world can. When you look at these characters for the Bible and that, right? Some of them lived crazy ages as well. Do you know what I mean? Like 900 years and that, mate. And it's like, come on. That's why Maimonides wrote a book, his book, The Guide for the Perplexed, because he said there's meanings to these numbers. They're not just random numbers stuck in this book for some. Just to tell you that Shem lasted till he was 490.
Yeah, it's not random stories. They're not just random stories.
No, nothing about this book's random. This whole book's a key to something extremely deep, which I think in the future, and probably the present future, I reckon in the next 30, 40 years, people are going to start to come to terms that there's something scientific about these books. There's a lot of physics involved in Kabbalah. You know that yourself, Joseph. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And this is coming straight from the Bible. Do you know what I mean? Straight from the Bible, where people say, where did the Sephiroth come from? Well, God spoke in the Bible, didn't he? 10 utterances. Let there be, he said, let there be this, let there be that. Do you know what I mean? Right. In Genesis, once again, that's the 10 utterances. The 10 creations. The created creation. The created us. Do you know what I mean? These 10 utterances.
That is a really long question in that chat room, though. I think a couple of people want to know it.
Okay,
Do you want me to read it, or you want to read it?
I'll go ahead and let you tackle it, Joe.
All right. So Craig's question is, do you believe real hermetic magic is to ascend over duality, allowing you greater and more pure power of manifestation? Because to assume God is beyond duality is rational. An alchemy of emotional balance rather than what some claim. That is, to keep the pendulum on one side, so rather it's to loosen perception and let go of either sides of emotion, love, fear, and to rationalize that they're same. Simple tools of destruction and creation. Man, you know what?
You read so much better than me.
The first thing about that question is, that whole question's about overcoming polarity in all of its different ways, right? Mm-hmm. That's not and manifesting things is not the ultimate goal, even if it's to manifest your consciousness. That's like one of the first things you learn in hermetics is the polarity of everything. Understanding that evil isn't really evil, it's ignorance, and fear is opposite to love, and fear is the same as ignorance, so you can't get mad at somebody that doesn't believe the same thing you do, and et cetera, et cetera. But that word alchemy of emotional balance, there's a lot of people throwing around this word alchemy that think they know what it means, right? Mm-hmm. And there's different forms of alchemy. When you are trying to literally, the biggest secret of alchemy is you are literally trying to project your energetic body out of your physical body so that you don't lose your consciousness anymore. Mm-hmm. So you don't keep, reincarnating forever and ever ad nauseum, come back, forget who you are, come back. That's the second death the Bible talks about, the death of your consciousness. Your soul never dies. But this is not just an idea or a spiritual transformation. If you study the Count of Saint Germain, what happened to Jesus and all the higher masters, they literally had a different body. And as crazy as that sounds, that is the true secret teachings of alchemy when they talk about turning lead into gold. The psychological alchemy, the spiritual and emotional alchemies, all that is the 4 elements. That's the beginning stages when you're rounding out your intellectual nature. Because people, Paul, they'll round out their emotional natures, but they never round out their intellectual nature, right? Or they'll round out their intellectual nature and their emotional nature, but they don't take care of their body. You've got to hit all 4 sides of that 5-pointed star to get to Tiferet.
Yeah, it's the inner alchemy as well. You could say talks about salt a lot in alchemy. That's taking care of the body. That's like magnesium and all these things. This is using certain properties, taking care of your candida, some would call it today, your gut flora, stuff like this. You need to look after the internal temple. That's one aspect of it. One side's your emotions as well, where sometimes I can be a bit fiery, sometimes I don't go listening to Merlin. Merlin says chill out and after let's go conquering, Merlin, let's go conquering. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but it's one of those ones, it comes under everything, and then you'll get to, as Joseph put it, tip of it. But the main way, right, is he's talking about polarity, right? Let's look at the sun, right? People say, right now it's dark in America, right? But right now, as I'm looking at my clock in UK time, it's back at 6 in the morning. So I know for a fact that it's daylight back home where my family is. So to me, there's such a thing as day and night. There's polarity, day and night, but there's no really, because somewhere else it's daytime. So if I was on a plane and I went with the sun, then it wouldn't be. I would never be out of the daytime. Do you know what I'm saying? So it would always be in the light. If I had a plane that could travel around the world and all that, getting on. So it's seeing past the polarities. It's like, look at nature itself. When you look at nature itself, I'll show you everything, invisible and the invisible, because that's what's there today. But you just have to see past the polarities of it. Because there's no such thing as polarity. This is what the Laozi's and all the great Chinese philosophers will try to tell you. They're saying there is a duality down here. There is a duality down here, but this duality we've created in ourselves. This is back to Cain fighting Abel. We create these dualities, and it's all through our beliefs and the way we think and the way we see the world and whatnot. Even our culture, where we're born, come into play. Do you know what I mean? All these things come into play through us, through our life growing up, and to the stage where we're prepared to be kings. So this is why when we're princes, we should be teaching our children this stuff, so they're prepared for when they're kings, that these things have not got a hold in them, like what we were saying earlier, Dave. The Negredo of alchemy, this blackening, is what Carl Jung says, is confronting these archetype personas that we've created for ourselves, that we wear as masks, social masks, just to protect ourselves out of fear. Fear. This is where the ceremonial magicians are. This is why I've always found it fascinating.
Yeah, just real quick before you finish this, Paul, to let everybody understand that what he's saying, it was like ceremonial magic is different than practical magic or candle magic or reading tarot cards. I mean, all of that's a part of it, but the ceremonial magic is what they call high magic.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you, Joe.
So it's like you're saying with the high magic, right? So somebody's want to partake in a ritual, a high magic ritual themselves, and they want to prepare for it and do all this stuff, right? There's many ways you can do it. Some like going out and they'll create like they'll get a bit of tarpaulin and they'll put like their sigils and seals and they'll paint them on it, and then they'll go out in the woods and they'll go summoning something. That takes what I would say cojones. If you're going to get all this stuff and going into the woods and yourself in the middle of the night and going to try and summon something, that's going to conquer fear in you, innit? Because really, this is what it all comes down to: fear. Yeah, and that's a thing that a lot of people on this planet are it's hard to try and conquer our fears. Well, even silly things like some people are scared of spiders. My missus hates spiders. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's just a wee spider. And she's telling me, don't pick this spider up. If it bites you, you'll get some flesh-eating disease. And I'm like, but I don't mind picking these things up. I don't have any fear of them. Do you know what I mean? So that's just a simple analogy for it. But really, your fears are what? Yeah, can keep us in.
If you read all those Golden Dawn texts, the basic ones are online, you know. Mm-hmm. And if you read the first text to that neophyte initiation, they tell you that fear is failure and the forerunner of failure. So to get to Tifereth, which is you could call it, what'd you call that, Christ consciousness, Paul? That's what the New Agers call it, Christ consciousness. They would call it
Christ consciousness. I would just call it perfect equilibrium. Perfect balance then, isn't it?
By the way,
that's why it's in the middle of the tree.
When I mentioned New Agers, I wasn't trying to pull any punches or anything. That's, to me, is I hope that's correct, or no,
that's right. Well, we are in a new age.
Right.
People are waking up.
Yeah, I would call it that as well, Joseph. We are in the new ages. It's been propagated for the 1920s, probably before. Crowley, start of the new aeon. He understood it. This is the start of an aeon. This is, even the Masons, this is the start of reason. Science has become the big thing. Religion's dead. Just look at religion in Europe, it's dead. This is why all the Muslims are coming in and it's been on the TV, the Muslims are doing this, and this. Because they're still religious. They're still listening to the Ramans and stuff, where we're still listening to these priests years ago and thought, half of you guys are all paedophiles. Do you know what I mean? Now that you're starting to get a lot of Muslims are saying half these imams are just sociopaths, crazy psychopaths, just want to wage war on people. Do you know what I mean? It's Gebura. But let's look at... I was listening to some rabbi and he was trying to describe it and he was saying, well, let's look at it with the three pillars. Well, Christianity would be goodness, it would be loving kindness, it would be chesed. And he said, and Islam would be Gebura, not this, and we would be perfect equilibrium. And I couldn't stop laughing at it.
So he's trying to... Who said that?
I can't mind. I'll get the name of the rabbi, Joe, and I'll send you it. And it's really funny. You'll push yourself laughing. And he's saying, yeah, we're the ones in perfect equilibrium, and only through Israel and the children of Israel, which is us, this will happen.
The chosen frozen.
The chosen frozen, the children of Israel. Let's get this.
Break that word down for him, Paul.
Yeah, Yisrael. means straight, honest line or straight, honest jurisdiction to God. It is not a reference to the planet. It's like saying, after God made everything, he went round the world and named the place. He said, I'm going to call this place America, and I'm going to call this place Scotland. I'm going to call this place Israel. How arrogant is that? How arrogant? No. Man has named the place Israel. Men, right? They took it for the book and called it Israel. God called the earth, this planet we live upon, he called it Israel. So let's look at who the Israelites are. The Israelites really are everybody on this planet. We are the Israelites. We're all brothers and sisters, regardless of our melanin, regardless of our skin colour, or even location of birth, or whatever. This is how when I see poverty, and I look in Detroit and I see a lot of poor black people, it pisses me off. These people have been stereotyped and whatnot, and there's been a lot of people have just left them in their own devices, and this is how poverty is spread, and that's chained people in ignorance through poor education systems and whatnot. It pisses me off, it really does. And then we should realise that we're all one, we're all Echad. Let's look at mitochondrial DNA. When you start to look at Eve, mitochondrial DNA, Eve, which is Eve, then we all came from the one mother. So we all came from the same women. That's interesting, and we've all descended for this is back to African evolution once again. But even at that, through our mitochondrial DNA, we're all linked. This mitochondrial DNA, you could say, it's like a frequency that we're all tuned into. It's like a higher frequency which within us as well. We're all tuned into this. Everybody wants to talk about this, the New Age thing, the pineal gland. But there's other things we should be speaking about than just the pineal gland. You've got your gut flora, your candida, this kind of stuff, man. This is what helps the body. Your whole immune system's contained within the gut. So when you're eating certain stuff, it's killing all your good gut flora. My missus is like an alchemist with this stuff. Honestly, in the past...
See, now he's getting into the real secrets of alchemy there, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to prepare the vessel before you bring that through.
Preparation. And it's in the old alchemical text, they spoke about they would wash themselves and they would purge themselves before they would go and practice ceremonies. You need to be clean. If you're going to go calling up an angelic being, you can't be all in your nephesh. You can't be on your lower part of your soul, as what is described in Kabbalah, which would be your animal soul, which is back to the alchemical process once again, as it's represented as the monkey. As you see in images of Fylth and stuff like this, you'll see the monkey with the finger to the mouth and stuff like this. That's representing your nefesh, your animal soul. You understand the symbology as well as the processes. It's all to do with you. If you want to be a king, then you need to be healthy. You need to be healthy body, healthy mind, control your emotions, which sometimes, as I've said, I can find it hard. There's some crazy asshole people out there who've got crazy mad beliefs and abnormal points of view and things, and they think that you're this or that, and they believe, and it's like, then they presume to know me. I don't want anybody to presume to know. This is why I don't go out and try and be the big guru and on the internet making loads of videos or do the odd interview with Joseph because he's my friend. And you did.
There's a lot of them on YouTube too, man. There's a lot of people claiming to be gurus, and they may be gurus, but you know, the kind of alchemical process that Paul's talking about, you know, I'm sure you guys have seen the paths of the tarot, you know, the path through the 22 arcana, which, by the way, the tarot was never designed to divine anything. That's not what it was designed for. It was just designed for scrying and meditation, for you to understand the path of initiation through the arcana. But anyways, it may take you more than one life to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody that starts learning this, as soon as they figure out something, they have that aha moment. Then they think they understand everything, right? And then they want to teach everybody all this stuff. And that's like trying to understand the Ein Sof, which is, you can't understand some of this stuff. Some of it you really aren't meant to know. Once you get past Kether on the Tree of Life, there's nobody on the planet that knows anything about that I'm aware of. Yeah. Even Buddha couldn't describe God and wouldn't even touch the question.
The way I look at it with the top crown, right, it's just the only thing we can get anywhere near it is having reason and understanding. For the top crown, there's Kether, which is unknowable infiniteness. You could call it like the Akashic records I've heard being described, right? It's unknowable. And if you had to tell people it, Dave, people would go, that's bombastic. Who was a great, look at the word bombastic, that came from Periclesius. You heard of Periclesius? Well, Periclesius was a fantastic alchemist, known as Periclesius Hoffenheim Bombastus. And that's where the word bombastic came from. Do you know what I'm saying?
Bombastic.
Yeah, Mr. Bombastic, because it was people say, that's bombastic, I can't believe that. That's like out of here. That's
Mr.
like...
Lover.
There's another part of alchemy. Sex. Yeah.
Hey, guys, we have a question from Sunrise in the Spreaker chat. And Sunrise has a question for you, Paul, about the path of the Sunkeepers. And how does the beliefs of the Sunkeepers reflect religion, or does it surpass our religious beliefs?
I guess it surpasses the religious beliefs. It's trying to show you the hidden allegories and deeper meanings, as well as the whole thing of the path of the Sunkeepers. When I created it, right? Well, what is the Sunkeepers? For me, it's the people I've read who've helped me get to where I am, who've helped me in my path. So it's been people like Lao Tzu. It's been people like Arya Kaplan, Hermes Trismegistus, Ibn Geber. I could go on and on and on and on.
Stephen Ash.
Stephen Ash. Stephen Ash was a secret order. This talking a real secret order. You have to be invited to some orders, right? Mm-hmm. And I've been invited to this order. I have been the SRIA, right? Which is the Secret Rosicrucians in Anglia, which is an old society. There's also a really old Scottish society called the Order of Herodom and the Rose of the Cross, which was created by Robert the Bruce, which is another Rosicrucian order. Right? These people were alchemists. These people were... They had what they were doing, this magic and stuff, from the ignorant and the religious types back in the day, by saying, oh, I'm an alchemist, I'm trying to turn lead into gold. And they go, oh, he's trying to turn lead into gold. But he could really say, no, I'm a hermetic magician and I'm conjuring demons in my basement. Do you know what I mean? Or I'm going through alchemical processes, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. Because people go, what are you doing? That's against my religious beliefs. We're going to have to burn you as a witch. So it's like that, isn't it? It's, yeah.
Yeah, there's modern magicians today.
Yeah, it is.
Some of them make themselves known. Some of them don't.
For me, I've that's what I mean. In the past couple of years, I've met two. One died, and we just mentioned him, Stephen Ash. He was a Magister Templar. The man was a gentleman. I mean, a real gentleman. Just no. Even if you gave him a bit of shit, and I give people shit, he just would laugh and say, you know, for laddie Paul, and that's he endeared me. Do you know what I mean? That he can take a bit of shit, because I can take a bit of shit. People think that I just I don't like people who sleek it and sly or who are doing underhanded stuff or ulterior motives. You meet a lot of people. I've met a lot of people on Facebook, because that's the only way I can. I've got websites and stuff. I'm no computer savvy, so I went on to Facebook at the start. This is how I created the page. Stephen Ash and that, we were posting in Golden Dawn and a few other, what you would say, esoteric orders, group pages. Just information here and there. And I says to Stephen, I'm going to create a wee group for us, just for us, so we can share information and all. Do you know what I mean? And laugh about things and look at this occult stuff. And because Stephen's like, guy was a master. The guy really was. He wrote the initiation handbook for the Golden Dawn. The guy was a genius. He was. Apart from that, he was a gentleman. And I've met them all on Milo Paquette a lot, and Stephen Ash stands above them all, and another man named Jean Regis, who's for the French Order of the Golden Dawn, who really is like, he's like some medieval Templar knight. The man's like seriously gifted with knowledge and mysticism and alchemy and magic, and yeah, he's a genius. So I like talking to people like that, and yeah, and I speak to Daniel Matt now and again, who's like, a lot of people have never studied any Kabbalah. I go and Google Daniel Matt. He's wrote 9 editions of the Zohar. That's a genius. And he's a dead gentleman. He's a lovely man. Do you know what I mean? And then you meet some people who just want to, you know, just rob stuff. And so the whole thing of Create the Page was just to share this kind of knowledge with people and just be open and say, this is what it is. It's this. And then also to use art, because I believe that, like Joseph was saying earlier, with the Arcanum, with the tarot cards, these cards open doorways in the mind, because art assaults the mind, you could say. Yeah, it really does. It assaults the mind in such a way that opens doors and makes you think about things when you look at certain paintings. So that's why I love using art, and certain quotes would help emphasise the art. Or yeah, that's what basically I find that to be therapeutic for me as well.
That's why a lot of the Renaissance magicians were painters. They never said they were magicians, but they were painted. I mean, if you look at the Mona Lisa, you ever looked at the Mona Lisa? Yeah. That's an alchemical painting. Yeah. It's got polarity, sexual polarity. It's got all kinds of stuff in there for you to figure out while you stare at it.
Yeah, look at Rembrandt as well. Rembrandt's, Velasquez, and there's a great occult Kabbalistic painter who's put, I mean, like hundreds of Sefer Yetzirah stuff, letters, Hebrew letters and everything, hidden in all his paintings, hidden in the Hair of the Queen's Daughter. There's the menorah, the Jewish candlestick in the Queen. There's hundreds of strange stuff in Velasquez paintings, and then you've got, as I say, Rembrandt, who man was just an alchemist. He would look at a colour and say, how can I basically make that colour so I can paint it? Do you know, he used everything, blood, feces, you name it, just so he could make a colour. That was alchemy in itself back in the day, so he could paint these great works of art. And then you look at some of his paintings as well, they're extremely mystical, as well as
Joe,
William Blake.
Wasn't there what was it, the Vitruvian Man that you were trying to explain to me?
Yeah, Vitruvian Man by Da Vinci.
I never really got that until you told me about that. I'm wondering if we can kind of go over that with the audience, because I'm not sure if, well, I'm sure some of them know about it, but to me, a lot like Paul was saying, a lot of these paintings are amazing. They're, well, both of you are saying that, there's more to it than just,
well, he was a master
paintings
thing, by symbols. In other words, he would make something and try to get you to connect the dots. So, the Vitruvian Man, everybody thinks they know what it means. I think I might know one thing, but you got to look at like a symbol. What's powerful about a symbol, and the reason why a lot of magicians use symbols, is because there's not a lot of things in life that could have 4 different meanings and they all be true, right? 5 different meanings and they all be true, but a symbol can, right? So, I mean, if you look at the Vitruvian Man, if you drew angles and lines around it, it shows you the cube of space. I mean, it shows you what the Sefer Yetzirah is talking about, just in one symbol.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what's interesting as well, Joseph? Right, was I find beautiful with the Vitruvian Man. It's also showing you the 5 elements.
Yeah.
It's showing you air, fire, and water, and at the top of his head it's showing you ether. And that's also a reference to like fire. So let's look at Jesus Christ himself. The Vitruvian Man is Christ, right? So Christ would represent Yod He Shin Vahe, which is known as the Pentagrammaton. And this is where Kircher, the famous Kabbalist who wrote most of the Enochian stuff, as well as a lot of other stuff, talked about the gates. The gates of Binah, the 50 gates of light, and spoke about how these 5 points, and you understand these 5. Yeah, like Joseph was saying, I don't know. People really realise this is how I love listening to Joseph's show when he gets some of his guests on. It's Joseph's not ignorant to any of this stuff. He's actually a really good capitalist and a damn good hermeticist. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'll tell him that. I'm a dumb redneck. That's where I need to stay.
Yeah, I'm a dumb redneck. That's how I say I'm just a daft Scotsman, mate. Like, when I went on your show, Joe, what was the first thing I said to you? Call me an idiot. People want to know, let's go on the show. And first show with Joseph, Dave. Do you know what I mean? He's saying, well, I'll introduce you as Paul. And I said, just introduce me as an idiot. Oh, can't I introduce you as that, mate? Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, no, just introduce me as an idiot. Because really, we're all idiots down here. And it is true, and I still hold that premise. We're all idiots down here. And just look at the definition in the word idiot. It just means outside of a particular skill set and knowledge. And everybody down here is outside of somebody's skill set and knowledge. And that's just a human fact.
That's
so we're all
truth.
idiots to someday.
That's the truth. Hey, Catalina comes in with a question. Wants to know, Paul, have you ever conjured up a being or something with magic? Or your magic?
No, I've never. But it's no book conjuring up beings. You can, some say you can, but for me, it's opening doorways in the mind, right? And it's through meditation. And the last time I'd done this would have been about 7 years ago, and I was extremely fit, and I was doing a lot of training, I was going to the gym a lot, and I was healthy in body. And it's, I opened something, whatever, and it was in the head through meditation. You don't see things. And I was speaking to something, but it was in my head. So who was I speaking to? Was I speaking to myself or speaking to a higher being which was giving me answers which were really obscure? Really obscure. But as for demons, I seen a demon once, but that was when I was like 17. And I was coming back from my friend's house and I had been smoking quite a lot of skunk. But even at that, but even at that, nice. But even at that, you don't see like 12-foot fire demons when you're smoking skunk. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm coming through a place called the Roman Camps. And and this place was called the Roman Camps because when the Romans were building the Antonine Wall, this is where they were based. And they were paying the locals loads of silver and gold, to basically kill them. And this place is still to this day is known as a dig. You need to watch where you're walking, or you could fall into like a big 12-foot hole. Some dude's been digging for, because there's been loads of gold found in Roman finds in this place in Pop.
Was this in Scotland?
Yeah, this is in Scotland. Yeah, and I'm coming home one night, and it was just weird. And I took to my heels and I basically kind of shat my little drawers up at 17. And I ran away. And I got to the top of this big hill and I was I would say about, I don't know, it was quite a distance away from where I first seen this thing. And I turned round at the top of the hill as I got to the top of the hill. And it was still there. And I got angry. I was really angry. I thought, I'm 17 years fully like violence. Yeah, I wanted to go back and fight with it, and I could hear it laughing, and that really freaked me out. And I never told anybody about it.
Let me ask you a question: Were you, before you saw the demon, what were you thinking about? Were you full of fear, or were you thinking it's dark, or was you thinking about anything before you saw it?
Basically, it was cold, Joseph. Right? I don't think.
Did you feel lonely?
It was wet. Nah, I would say when I started to walk, there was a smell, a strange smell. And then, like you're saying, the fear. A fear came over me. Fear. You know what I mean? And I'm in a place where it's old. It is old. Do you know what I mean? Where I live in Scotland's old. Anyway, I never told anybody about this because you can't see people. I just seen a big demon. It's crazy. And like, it must have been about a year or so later. We're in a car with like one of my brother's best friends and like one of my best friends as a kid, Mark, and we're getting stoned. And we're talking about people for where we live in this town. And we're speaking about a particular guy. And I said, we always seen this guy's mum, but we never ever seen his dad. Never ever seen his dad. And I was saying to Big Scott, who lived near them, a good friend, have you ever seen such and such? His dad and that, and he's like, Paul, man, let me tell you a mad story. And he told me basically, in the 70s, him and another man who lived in up Paul Station where we lived, were taking their dogs a walk down the Roman camps. And basically they said they seen the devil.
What did this demon look like? Milo wants to know in the chat room.
It was big. It was big. For me, do you know what it looked right? And this is a strange one. And I had read it as a kid. And it wasn't until years later I actually got the cartoon. And it was like Lord of the Rings Balrog. You know, the big fire demon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like that, basically. It was like that. It was like a big, gigantic, smoky fire thing. And it just... And it came up out of nowhere. And I was like, what the... You know, I'm 17 and that, and I'm like, well, what's happening here? I'll be honest, I took to my heels, and I got to the top of the hill, and it was, and as I says, I turned round and I was like raging because it really frightened the shit out of me. And it laughed at me. It's like it actually laughed at me. If they say, I've put the fear of God into you, and now you've got angry at me. Do you know what I mean? Now you've got angry at me and there's nothing you can do. And it walked away. Basically, well, it never walked away, just evaporated and vanished, you could say. But it's still to this day, it's one of those ones. Did I really see it was in my mind for smoking the skunk or whatnot? But that story, as I said, like, that was like a year later. And when Big Scott told me in that, I actually told him I seen something in there. And they're like, that's freaky, Paul. Because, you know, that's like somebody else had seen it, but that was like years before me. And basically, they said this guy, his dad went grey overnight, and the man never left the house in like 20 or 30 years. Don't know, I've never stayed in that town in a while, but don't know if he's, But that man had never left his house because he's seen something taking a dog a walk. For like normal life, they like, I'm never leaving my house ever again. Yeah, and I'm thinking I might be saying the same thing, eh?
Right.
But where we are, this is the interesting thing.
It is.
Where this place is located, Dave, is where James Paraffin Young created paraffin lamps. So the place was full of shell bins where they were extracting paraffin. Which is very interesting. Very interesting. So what did I see? Did I see some like... Because as I said, paraffin, this is like a fire thing. And the place is surrounded by like... Where they used to mine for paraffin. So James Paraffin Young invented it. Yeah. So it's one of those ones. Was it the mine? Was it real? Was it... It's old, mate. This is where the Romans were building 99 Wall. And yeah, they had to be a bit brave coming to Scotland and try to like be big men, eh? Yeah, there's loads of people would take offence to that. Like, it's like that's how every army when they go into other people's countries. You always got to get people who's got to say, I couldn't care who you are, if you're here for good reasons or no. What are you doing in my country? Pointing guns at my mum and that, eh? It's not going to happen, is it? Really? So basically the Romans never lasted too long in Scotland, but that's another story, isn't it?
Joe, Dan has a question, and our brother and Reverend Dan Lopez has a question in Spreaker about Michael Sarion.
I think he's asking, does Paul agree with Michael Sarion's teachings? I mean, Michael Sarion has a teaching out about the path of the fool, where he kind of talks about going through the 22 arcana. It's on YouTube. I don't know if any of you guys have watched it, but there's some people that agree with his teachings and some people don't. I think Dan's just wondering if he agrees with him or not.
Nah, he's too... Right, what I've noticed the way Michael Tazarian, he's Irish, he stays in America and that. He's a nice fella, like, he's no stupid, he's done his research and that, and some things they go with his beliefs. So he just says, oh, Satanism and stuff like this. People like to talk about Satanism and, oh, he's a Satanist and they're a Satanist and there's a Satanist. He's Satan. It's like, right, Eliphas Levi says, he who sees Satan and affirms Satan basically is Satan. Ourselves. You're not seeing Satan. That's just some demon you've created or whatever in your head. Satan's a complex thing. People in the Catholic Church and it's even in Islam, people have used this duality thing. God's got an opposite and used it to really manipulate people. And me saying this is quite heretical. People will go, "Oh, you're saying this." No, I've went and studied this deeply and realised that the teachings for it, there is an opposite, there is a darkness, this malleable nastiness, which is coming through lower dimensions. If you really want to understand this is coming for your second and third, your first and second dimension. Sorry, these are coming through lower planes. You could say these are things that quite actually aren't like us or whatever. Yeah. So there's other aspects of this, but Satan itself, when you really understand Enoch, let's look at Enoch. He goes to all these places, 10 dimensions, you could say, but he goes to this garden and he sees a being full of eyes, blackened, and he says, "Oh, who's that?" And he says, "Oh, he works for God." So Satan, in a way, works for God. He's like a prosecuting lawyer. Right? This is for me the whole aspect of Satan is he comes down and gets these other things, or not even these other things are here, they're another thing. And he just sees how you're tempted by them and then you get prosecuted. He's like a prosecution lawyer. That's the best analogy I could come up with for saying he's like a prosecution lawyer. Who particularly does they like us because we have been given free will and we're quite godly.
I think a lot of the problem is that, like the teachings, Alain Maladouquet, is people really believe that God is as a being that's separate. The devil is a being that's separate from everything, or a demon is a being that's outside of them and it's separate from them. Well, everything they got this. See, that goes back to the physical realm of duality. Well, you're not taking into account, the other realms. Mm-hmm. These demons are in everybody. I mean, when God asked where Satan was in the Bible and he said north, south, east, and west, to and fro, yada, yada, yada. Do you think that he said that for no reason? He's trying to tell you that this entity that everybody calls Satan it's in everything and everybody. Yeah. The only power that you have, I don't care how powerful a magician you are, if you can wave a magic wand or whatever, the only real power you have is choice. Yep. That's it. You can't serve one master. You can't serve both masters because there isn't two masters in reality. But you're making a choice to serve light or darkness. So when you conjure a demon, what are you doing? You're conjuring an aspect of a higher consciousness. So let's just say everybody's mind is connected to this ball, right? Just look at it that way. And there's these dark beings inside this ball. And there's light beings inside this ball of consciousness. Well, if you evoke or invoke a demon or an angel, you're just pulling out those aspects. Are they powerful? Yeah, they are. Can they mess up your life? Yeah. You're messing with your psyche. You're messing with forces that you don't understand yet. And see, a left-hand path magician, they'll go straight to it. But that's their choice. Versus a right-hand path magician may take a longer, more safer route and may never even talk to a demon. They may never even care about it,
To be honest,
but it's all the same, really.
See, when you look at a lot of, even left-hand path magicians, I know a few of them as well. Some of them are actually nice people. Do you know what I mean? They're just, their beliefs are in different things. They believe this. They believe, some are into, Norse stuff, or someone into... look at Eric Clinton. People have got him lined up to be the... he's a bit of an asshole, but... because the reason I think he's an asshole isn't it because he's magic and stuff like that. The guy knows what he's speaking about. He's not an idiot. Do you know what I mean? He's actually well versed. But what he does is he knows that it's all based on beliefs. So he writes these books and he does these what I would call it's theatre. He would do these theatrical style ceremonies and put them on YouTube, and people go, "Oh, look at this mad black magician," and they buy into it. You buy into the bullshit, and then he makes money for it. Notoriety. It's like Crowley with some of his stuff. Didn't get me wrong, Crowley was a nasty, evil dude. But he was crooked. His nefesh was bent. I said it years ago and I'll still stick to it. His nefesh was bent. But here, even in the wickedest man, Crowley, there was some good. He believed wholeheartedly in God. But look at Crowley as a kid. Right? His life, his childhood, shaped his life. His dad was nuts. His mum was crazy. He was growing up in a crazy time in the 18th century. UK were like the mad Protestant Puritanism style. Do you know what I mean? Even show your ankle, you were a harlot. Do you know what I mean?
And then they give the kid a whole bunch of money and tell him to do whatever with it. What do you think he's going to do?
Well, put it this way, right? See, if we had to go back 100 years ago and I had to go back and show people in the 18th century the internet and say this is what all your great-great-grandchildren are going to be watching and doing in their future, do you know what they would probably do? They would probably start killing their kids. They would say, you became devils. Look at what's going on. So it's true. It's true, but you've got access to anything on the internet nowadays, and we live in a crazy world.
You know, I definitely want to get more into Crowley into the final hour, as a matter of fact, but we got to go to break. This is Spaced Out Radio Saturday. I am Dave Cruz, your host, being joined with Paul Francis Young of the Path of the Sunkeepers and Mr. Joseph Roop. Everyone stick around. Don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
Hi there, this is Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and I want you to come on a nightly journey. Starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, every Monday through Friday, you can come hang out with me and the other space travelers. We have it all from Carl the Alien bouncing on by to those misfit gnomes causing havoc. It's 3 hours of fun and entertainment on those topics the mainstream really doesn't want to touch. Come get all paranormal with us at spacedoutradio.com, and together, my friends, along with our resident guitar god Bumblefoot, we own the night.
Not ready for bed on Saturday night? Right after Spaced Out Saturdays, hop on over to S4 with Corey Ruiz and me, Eric Cooper from Forest Moon Paranormal. With S4, there are no limits to what we try and uncover. From government conspiracies to helping clean up the paranormal, no topic is safe on S4. We get to the heart of the matter, of the subjects you want to learn more about. So tune in on S4 starting at midnight Pacific, 3 a.m. Eastern, only on spacedoutradio.com.
The SOR Sightlines is a place for you to find answers to your strange experiences. Hi there, this is Mike Schmidt. If you have had an encounter with ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoot, ETs, or anything else that doesn't make sense, head to spacedoutradio.com and file a Sightlines report. All information you give is 100% confidential, and I will personally help you find the answers you need. SOR Sightlines, your answers are a click away.
Hi there. I'm Butch Witkowski, lead investigator with U4Cop. On the final Monday of every month, you can listen to me and host Dave Scott on Spaced Out Radio's Strange Days. We're going to get to the heart of the matter when it comes to what's happening out there. People are seeing and experiencing things from ET contact to Bigfoot, and I want to hear about it. Your experiences are what we investigators need to help solve these unknown mysteries. So tune in at spacedoutradio.com to the final Monday of every month from Butch Witkowski's Strange Days.
This is Eric Markham, news editor for the Spaced Out Radio's The Encounter Online. We have put together a great team of writers and journalists from all over the world to bring you top-quality paranormal stories, from alien encounters to the latest conspiracies. You won't find any of that fake news here. True stories and top-notch reporting as we look to bring these experiences to the mainstream. The Encounter Online, only at spacedoutradio.com.
Do you want to know the truth? Do UFOs exist? Are aliens real? Are the governments hiding the biggest secret in history? We're UFO seekers, and we're on a hunt for the truth. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow along with us as we journey across the United States, visiting UFO hotspots and alien hotspots, trying to document the UFO phenomenon. Catch us on Spaced Out Radio every third Monday of the month as we discuss Area 51, UFOs, and more. And also, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube.
Patrolling the Pacific Northwest, we are always on the lookout for the strange and unassuming stories that real people are experiencing. Hi, I'm Vincent Zunza from Pacific North Weird. Me and Alexandra Sullivan have teamed to bring to you those odd stories that never seem to make it into the mainstream. Stories so weird that will leave you scratching your head wondering, is this real? It's as real as it gets with Pacific North Weird. You can watch our videos right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Become more intimate and interactive with Spaced Out Radio. Join our Space Travelers Club with your new membership. For $5 a month, we'll provide you with special access to the website, monthly prize draws from books to psychic readings, along with monthly newsletter, private interviews, and more. Sign up today to be part of Spaced Out Radio's experience.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
Don't have time to listen to Spaced Out Radio live? Wherever you are, the car, the office, the shower, or even if you're traveling, we're right here for you. Each Spaced Out Radio show can be found on iTunes, TuneIn, and on our YouTube channel, Spaced Out Radio Show. It's the perfect way for you to catch up on our shows. For more information, just head over to our website, spacedoutradio.com, and tune in to us today.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Strange creatures lurking in the night, the sounds of wood knocking in the forest, odd happenings right out of a fictional world. These are the reports I love. Hi there, this is author Ronald Murphy, and I would love it if you join me and Spaced Out Radio host Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month on our journey into the unknown land of cryptozoology at spacedoutradio.com. From Mothman to Frogman and everything in between. Hey, they don't call me the crypto guru for nothing.
It's Cosmic Sundays with me, Elizabeth Anglin, in Cosmic Passport. Let me take you down a 3-hour spiritual journey where we will get into everything from ET contact to Psychic Sundays. It's a journey of listening and learning together with some of the best professionals in their fields. You can tune in to Cosmic Passport at spacedoutradio.com every Sunday starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern.
The views and opinions expressed by tonight's guests and topic of discussion do not necessarily represent the official policy or position of Spaced Out Radio, its hosts, syndicated carriers, or anyone associated with this broadcast. Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. And hit us up on Twitter using the hashtag SpacedOutRadio. Now, back to Dave Cruz and SOR.
We're really going to miss this music. And I'm really going to miss all you space travelers out there. But I will be back once in a while. So, welcome back to Spaced Out Saturday Nights with me, Dave Cruz. Tomorrow night, Elizabeth Anglin has Psychic Sundays on Spaced Out Sundays Cosmic Passport starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern at spacedoutradio.com. You can also listen to me, Dave Cruz, as I host Beyond the Strange Radio Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Go to spacedoutradio.com/paranormal. Click on the Beyond the Strange button for the links and info to the show. We want to welcome everyone listening in on WQEE 99 Rock the Key down in Noonan, Georgia, home of the Walking Dead. We are also live on the United Public Radio Network on 107.7 FM in New Orleans and over 160 countries around the world. We're live on TalkStream Live, iHeartRadio, iTunes. For download, and our website is spacedoutradio.com. Head on over to the website for some great features from videos of UFO seekers and Contact TV. Shop at our store. Pick up the t-shirts, posters, and stickers. And don't forget to rock out to our resident guitar god, Ron Bumblefoot THAL, who is the official music of the mighty SOR. And once again, I just want to thank our guest tonight, our guest, I should say plural, Paul Francis Young and Joseph Roop. Thank you both for being here tonight. In this final hour, we're going to get into some really good topics. So, gentlemen,
I'm not a guest. I'm just an interpreter.
Nice.
Well, yeah.
But, we were talking during the break, guys, and I brought up, the Keys of Solomon, and, Joe, you were really quick to kind of be like, maybe we should be cool about that. But there's a reason why. So maybe you can explain that.
Why I don't want to talk? Well, I think it's a dangerous subject. Right. Well, because
everything we're talking about tonight. I chose this topic because it's important.
I understand.
Because
what
people
I've seen
should understand.
is people that they start studying the deeper meanings of biblical text and biblical stories. Sorry, there's sirens going off down my street.
No worries.
And when someone has an epiphany, when they read a story and they say, hey, there's a deeper meaning here, right? Like there's more to Goldilocks and the Three Bears than the story, right? But they think they've figured out something powerful and they go around messing with it, and when they shouldn't be messing with it, when there's something they're not ready for. There'll be a time when everybody needs to face their demons. I don't know. I've seen some bad stuff happen to people because they're tampering with stuff, that they shouldn't be.
The way I look at it, right? It's like I was talking about earlier in my meditation a while back. Opening doors. When you start opening doors in your psyche and your subconscious, some doors are best left closed. Yeah, with some people, these doors are best left closed. It's like Pandora's box. So when you're opening Pandora's box, you're letting everything out, and sometimes everything's getting let out at once. When you're getting too much here, they call it in Kabbalah. They call it Ohar Gnuz, hidden light. Right? If you get too much of this, then you can go mad. Sends you crazy. Because Kabbalah, it's like climbing mountains. You could say, right? So if you want to go climb mountains, you have to start off climbing small mountains. You can't go climbing the Eiger or Mount Everest straight away. Do you know what I'm saying? You need to go climbing small mountains first. That's just lunacy. It's an idiot who would go try to climb giant mountains before they can climb any mountain. So the best way for tackling setting, it's like these subjects tonight, I like to make light-hearted and have a laugh. Because these are deep subjects. These are deep subjects. A lot of these people who talk about this stuff take it very serious to the extent that when they don't agree with them, they'll want to cut your head off. Or they'll think you're a demon or whatnot, or some Satanist. Because you're saying, no, let's be a devil's advocate and look at this right? So speaking about the keys of Solomon, some of these keys work and some of them is just there to go deceiving people who want to know. So Crowley was great at it. These Book of Lies and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff to do with Enoch and stuff in the Book of Lies. I'll be honest, there is, but you need to understand it before you can go climbing mountains, as I said. So,
Book of Lies is a book Aleister Crowley wrote, by the way, just in case anybody's wondering what that is.
Yes, a book he wrote about certain stuff to do with magic. But I don't want to tell people too much about this stuff. I'm not want to start speaking about certain texts. And there's people out there who are maybe a bit young and wise who say, "Oh, I'm a man of the world. I'm full of understanding." And I'm not even fully understanding. That's how I said I'm an idiot. Do you know what I mean? And being honest, because I'm trying to be. You can only try to be. This is the whole process of alchemy. You're in the process of doing it. If I was one of these things, one of these Buddhas, then I wouldn't be on the radio speaking. I would just be being a Buddha and living life Buddha-like.
In the Himalayas somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hiding.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's one of those. You know what I'm speaking about, Joseph.
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you're talking about. But it's like, here's the thing, man. Both you and I, Dave, have been taught something our entire life since we were children, right?
Right.
What we're talking about is what you're asking people to go outside the box You're asking people to look outside the box. You're asking them to get away from the tribe mind. You're asking them to pretty much look at stuff that breaks their whole way of life and everything they've been taught. Now, if you look at it like that, you could actually show these people facts and put them in front of their faces, and they'll fight you because they don't want nothing to do with it, regardless if it's truth or not.
They'll ape in the face of reason.
So it's kind of pointless, but I will say that if any of you are out there thinking you're going to go out and conjure a demon, or you picked up a bad, let's say a book, you know, and it's telling you how to conjure demons or whatever, I'd just say, why don't you go talk to somebody who's done it and see what happened to them before you go doing that stuff. I'm not saying you're evil. You know, I mean, Solomon conjured demons.
No.
But you have to understand that story was a story, number one, and the whole point was that he was given the knowledge and the power to do so.
There's actually, Joseph, even the Solomonic tales, there's loads of them, and like, there's a book called the Haggadah, and I think, like, when kids get their bar mitzvah at 13 and stuff, they're given this book, the Haggadah, and it speaks about the demon Ashmodai, or Asmodeus. I wrote a treatise upon him a few years back, and it's actually a fascinating story when you start to look at this demon. This demon in some stories actually during the day goes up to heaven and sits in heaven and listens to the great debates amongst the angels. And during the day he comes down to earth. He listens to the great thinkers of men and listens to them debating. And it's that fascinating. Just a demon was gone up and down to heaven. Do you know what I'm saying? This is in Haggadah. This is in the Jewish text. In Christianity, no matter where you hang with it, it's a Jewish. Jesus was Jewish. And the whole story in Messiah is very Kabbalistic. That's the one who sits on the throne. That's the one who represents the king, who's sitting with the crown of understanding and knowledge and Tipperet. You know what I'm speaking about, Joe? The Tipperet's is really one of the highest points in Kabbalah you can achieve, really. To get beyond that, up into like the top realms, is you need to understand these concepts fully, that you're not getting beyond these things. That's the Ein Sof, that's the unknowable, but what will happen is you can be crowned with the knowledge and understanding of the unknowable, and that's what Christ was. As I says, the Pentagrammaton, the Yod Heh Shin Vahe, which is the great Kabbalist scripture, proved Christ's divinity. It's no Christianity itself proved Christ's divinity. It was actually a Kabbalist named Kircher by using the name, the Tetragrammaton, as it says, the Messiah, or the small face known as Zerampin. There's two faces you could call it, Arakanpin and Zerampin, which would be known as the lesser countenance, which is Arakanpin, and the great countenance. Yeah, so that's basically the micro prosopis and the macro prosopis. God, Arakanpin, the great face being the Ein Sof, reflecting in our...
You talking about the Zohar?
Yeah, I'm speaking, no, but not so much the Zohar. This is basic Kabbalah. When you're looking at Kircher's version, messing with the Tetragrammaton, what he actually done, Joseph, was he introduced the letter Shin into the Tetragrammaton in the middle, which created the term Yod Heh Shin Vahe. Christ talks
which
about
comes
fire.
to, this is why Rosicrucians vibrate Yeshua, because that's really what that is.
Yeah,
Yod Heh Shin
Yeshua.
Vahe is Yeshua.
Yeshuvav. There's different ways of pronouncing it, but it's basically
just closer to Jesus' real name than what we call him. We only call him Jesus because that's the name the Greeks gave him.
No, that's the name the Greeks gave him, and that's basically, no, it's not really when you look at it. That's what the Romans gave him. It's the whole, this is where
Are we losing Paul?
You need to be impartial when you're studying these things.
Yeah, we lost you a little bit there, Paul.
Yeah, I'm saying you need to be impartial when you're studying these things, especially theology and religion, so you need to look at it historically. So the whole Christianity thing came about because of a Roman emperor called Constantine, and after the Battle of Constantine. Milvian Bridge, the Milvian Bridge, he's seen a cross in the sun and a voice in his head saying, "Conquer in my name." And since then, the Romans propagated Christianity to benefit their interpretation. I mean, you look at basically the whole Christian thing. It goes way back. There's bits of Zoroaster teachings. There's Mithras. This is why Christ was born on the 25th. This is why December coming up, Christmas. It's all to do with Mithras. And then you've got stories for Horus. You've also got stories for Krishna. You've got all these other...
They all represent Tifereth.
All represented.
It's all symbology, right?
This.
Well, they are all telling the story of Tifereth.
Yeah. It's no false symbology, Dave. Dave. It's no false symbology. It's true symbology.
It's true.
This guy Christ represents a king. What did Christ say? You need to go and become me. You need to be able to understand dialectics and be able to argue. Like I didn't go into the Pharisees and argue with these people. I do this myself. I like arguing with Muslims and especially the rabbins about this type of stuff, especially Sufi Muslims and Kabbalist rabbis, because it's through this you get a great understanding, and this is a Talmudic thing. This is what the rabbis done back in the day. They says to understand this when they argue about it. One would say this is purple, another would say this is blue, another would say, oh no, it's green. Just for the sake of argument, devil advocate. But so when you're studying this stuff, you need to be a devil's advocate. You need to mold yourself with a superior mind.
Yeah, you're not a kid anymore. You're not going to get swatted in the head for asking questions.
Exactly.
You know, when I was a kid, I would say, "Who wrote these books?" It says this guy wrote this book and that book, Dad. Whack! He'd hit me in the head. Right? You need to be, you know, they would literally Bible thumped when I was a kid. You know. But if he was going to be true, he could have said, I don't know. I think it was a bunch of guys in the Council of Nicaea and Constantine decided on what was going to be the holy books, and they threw the rest out, and then they made everybody, you know, pretty much say this is the holy books.
Well,
and so everybody could get along.
Mycenae, if you look at it historically, it was a man called Mycenae in 100 AD wrote the Bible, or wrote the New Testament. And that's a fact. That's historically correct. Any historian with any...
Oh, you mean it wasn't the Rosicrucians, like the old Rosicrucians?
No, it was the same as a man called Mycenae. Look it up. Joseph, a man called Mycenae. But it's got to do with the Greeks and the Council of Nicaea and all this carry on. So Mycenae was an educated man, and obviously they knew stuff. And Christ is... whether he existed or no, what he represents is special, it's Tifereth, it's perfect balance and equilibrium. That's what Christ is. Christ is really something really special, actually. But it's the analogy of it, it's the allegories and the parables behind them what make him special. It's not the literal, Jesus walked on water and stuff like this. No, the reason he walked on water because he was fully chesed, which is a sphere in the Kabbalistic sphere of life, which means mercy. Mercy and goodness. Exactly, it was feeling mercy and goodness, mate. It was Geburah in him. Yeah. So he was.
What's the opposite of mercy?
Geburah.
Severity.
Judgment.
You know, I saw a thing earlier where Kat was talking about, the ceremonial magicians, they wait till there's a full moon and they do all the vibrating names and stuff. That's cray-cray. Well, it's funny that we do all these things that affect our lives and subconscious. We sing, you know, with music and vibrate names, right? And that affects our subconscious and changes our lives. We follow calendars and we watch the planets, right? And then we look at colors and we have certain smells that make us feel a certain way. You can even smell something and it makes you think of something that happened in your childhood, right? So it taps into your subconscious. All a ceremonial magician is doing is opening the doors to their subconscious, talking to their subconscious.
So as a priest every Sunday.
That's it. So when you do baptisms and
you sing songs and
all that's same thing. You're doing ceremonial magic every Sunday morning.
Every Sunday morning, you wear your nice clothes, you go to chapel, you sing songs, and you sing to the greatness of God and all of this. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying I'm not discrediting that. I'm just saying
it's a good thing.
Actually, magic. It's a good thing, actually. Yeah, this is what a lot of magicians actually do. They actually say the names of God. The Shem Ham Farash, which was really is the concept is if you want to go into Solomonic magic, is what it's all about. And to really understand the Hashem, as I spoke about earlier, the different names of God, Adonai, El Shaddai, Ea Asha'ea, which is my favourite is Ea Asha'ea, the God of Moses on the mountain, who says, I am who I am and I will be what I'll be. That's what Ea Asha'ea means. In short words, I am who I am and I'll be what I am, and you'll never be able to comprehend me because I am Ein Sof. And there's different attributes to me. So understand these, Adonai. Yeah. So when you're doing ceremonial magic, I'm not like, going into too much. You're saying the holy Hashems. You're talking about the spheres and the Hekalot Hakadoshis. You're talking about the cherubim, the seraphim, all the beautiful angels, and this is what that's about. Well, that's what ceremonial magic actually is. People think it's calling up demons. It's actually no. It's actually doing a ritualistic ceremony like you would get at the Catholic Church or any church or even the mosque and the synagogue. Yeah, every Friday the Muslims go and they do their wee thing, and then the rabbis go and do their thing on a Saturday, and then we go and do our things on Sundays. Yeah,
everybody, the thing about ritual, the thing that's cool about it, I think, is if you look at ritual, and I'm not just talking about magic ritual, what it does, it centers people. What it does for the psyche. You can even look at golfers. The greatest golfers in the world do a pre-shot ritual before they swing. Just about every successful person in the world, no matter what field they're in, have daily rituals. I mean, so, a ceremonial magician that practices high magic, they're doing daily rituals to advance their consciousness. It's not really to manifest things into their life or have more money or have this or that. The whole point of Solomon's story was when you search for this wisdom, all of that stuff comes with it. You don't have to manifest it, I mean, once you start living your divine will, why you are here on this planet to begin with, whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah, I found
usually
that
it's the good stuff.
Joe, I remember when you were telling me about the rituals and that sort of thing, that they actually say magicians say amen after like a prayer.
Yeah. If you look at, you can see it on the internet. Even the black magicians do it, right? They always do this ritual called the lesser ritual of the pentagram before they do a ritual. And the first thing they do is they say, "For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen." But they cross themselves and they say it in Hebrew. And they visualize a cross of light, and that's called the Kabbalistic cross. And then they invoke the archangels around them, because these 4 archangels are with you always. They're parts of you, but they have certain things that they do. They also protect the Garden of Eden if you read the books too, so there's a lot to it, right?
Right.
And you can't start any ritual. Most rituals, you have to do that. And what it does is after a while, you're training your subconscious and your spirit and everything to clear the room out, basically, right?
Yeah, and
there's more to it than that, but some people overdo it a little bit, I think.
I believe that. And Paul, we were talking earlier before the show, you had mentioned psychological warfare, and I mentioned spiritual warfare. I don't know if those two go hand in hand or if they're totally separate, but I feel after learning a lot of this from you and Joe that one might want to protect themselves from this kind of warfare.
Well, before Paul answers that, don't ever think that you have to do magic to protect yourself.
No.
Prayer is probably one of the highest forms of magic anybody can do.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that too.
Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Joe, is basically prayer. Yeah, I don't do magic rituals. I do a thing called the Shema. Even Christ said, keep the Lord's Prayer. So I keep the Lord's Prayer, do the Shema. Every day, every morning, do the Shema when I get up, and do the Shema when I go to my bed. Sometimes I'll do it's a prayer actually for the Magical Ritual of the Sanctum Regnum, which is a book by Eliphas Levi, right? And this is a prayer, a Kabbalistic prayer. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. When I'm feeling down or whatnot, sometimes I used to do it like every Friday. I'm doing a Friday. I would basically train and go for a shower and do my thing, and then like before I would leave at 10 at night to go and do whatever I was doing, I would do basically this prayer. So that was my thing. Yeah, I would do this, my Kabbalistic prayer and that. But as for rituals and that, I've done a couple, and they've worked, as I've said. Most of them are meditative. A lot of people think that it's dressing up like Harry Potter, and that does happen. You can do that and you will get effects. Do you know what I mean? That's a part of it, is putting on these clothes.
Yeah.
It's ritualistic. It's no like, oh, he's dressed like Harry Potter. It's no, he's gone through a ceremony. Just like how Catholic priests wear different robes in different times in the month. Yeah, different times of the year.
They're
just
magicians,
like
the Catholic priests
magicians.
are. And they know what it does to your psyche.
Joseph, that's what I mean. This is how when I started studying magic, when I got to like my teens, older teens and stuff, right? When I first started getting these texts, then I understood it because I was pure indoctrinated in it. Yeah, for the Catholic Church, we consumed the body of Christ, man. Consumed them. Here's some bread and some wine. And it's like, you know, it's like, what? That's a crazy concept. No, but it's true. Some wine. It's like
You're talking about wine, yeah.
Yeah, here's some wine. Do you know what I mean? And here's some like bread, and this is the body of Christ, and this is his blood. And it's like, what? Really break that down? I've just consumed some the cannibalistic ceremony, except I've not actually eaten them. But in a metaphorical sense of just munched Christ, he's inside me, and all of this, that's a ceremony. That's a magical ceremony. Can't get away from that.
Art Bell wrote a book called The Quickening. Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that book?
I remember the title of The Quickening, yes. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, so he wrote a book called The Quickening. And basically all it was like he knew something was coming, right? Now this feeling that everybody has that something's coming, and you've heard it from a lot of guests you've had on your show too. They all tell you this, right? Well, if you look even in the Bible, you know, God says, or Jesus says, however you want to look at it, that when you see the man carrying the pitcher of water, go into the upper room and I'll meet you there, right? Now, for people that want to make a religion about the literal text of the Bible, that's a tough one, right? According to them, well, maybe he saw a man walking down the road with a pitcher of water. I don't even know why this is here. Well, the man with the pitcher of water is Aquarius. That's the sign of Aquarius. So the Magi that they're trying to tell you, or the wise man that's writing this stuff down in symbol and parable, is trying to tell you that there's an age coming, that Christ is going to be there with everybody. That this consciousness is going to start waking up.
This consciousness, Joe, we were speaking about tonight with Kabbalah and stuff.
So there's going to be you got to make a choice, though. That's the thing. Are you going to accept your higher self when it starts talking to you? Or are you not going to do it? Because there's a way of the world, too, that we're always fighting with. And I know you, the listener out there, know what I'm talking about. There's things you're doing every day, ways of the world, every day, that are sucking your soul dry. They cause depression. They vamp your energy. They hurt your relationships. They steal your happiness. Yet you're told you have to do and be these things every day. And you do to some extent if you want to survive. But this is what the story of the beast was all about. Sooner or later, you're going to have to make a decision.
Do I know something? And we could do a show on that, Dave, and that's the darkest beast of them all, is the things we've created. Corporations, fictional things, a real monster that speak about demons. A real monster for me is a non-entity. It's what we would call a golem, right? It's a corporations. You could call corporations or golems, right? So you've got all these corporations around the world, and recently these corporations have been given the same rights as a human. They've got the same rights as you, but it's not a non-living thing. It's got no physical existence on this planet. It's only men and women here. It's only us here. We create this shit. We create this matrix box stuff. And then we wonder, what's the matrix about? Well, what do you think it is? It's beliefs. There's hundreds of beliefs in all these boxes, and people say, jump into this box. Here, believe what we believe. And you need to realise that, hey, there's all these boxes with all these beliefs. And if they're all true, they're all right, or they're all wrong, you will only know as you can jump in a few. Or here's the other one. Let's actually study the thing which actually is keeping the box in it. Do you know what I mean? Which is kind of like, that's telling you about the box. And what these boxes are and why we're here and to create, because that's what the tree life's all about. It's just an archetypal thing to show a diagrammatic form of the universe, you, God, everything, all in one beautiful sphere. Do you know what I mean? That's what that is, and that's what Jesus says. Be the same as me. Be a king. Don't be an asshole. You'll not get around my table unless you're a king. You'll get put back into the box. You'll get put back in the playpen with the kids. We're in a playpen.
Yeah.
This is dimensional stuff. But I'm speaking about dimensional stuff. We're dimensional beings existing on a single plane here, which is the third dimension. I mean, you fully understand.
Yeah, everybody's waiting on Christ to come back. And the thing is
Christ isn't coming back.
He's already there inside you, waiting on you to ascend to him, like Alan says. There's a lot. There's even this isn't just a spiritual thing. There's a lot of science to this.
Christ says that Joseph. I've always said to me, if Christ came back, half these Christians would put him back on a cross. Crucify him, man. He's not saying what we want him to say. He's not going with your beliefs. Of course, man. He's stuck in this matrix box. That's what he says. The best analogy, Rosicrucian analogy, a great story, and people wonder why, is the story of King Arthur. King Arthur.
Love that story.
Yeah, King Arthur here. See, unless you're a good noble knight king, you ain't getting round my table. You're getting to go away. You're no worthy to be around this table. So that's what Christ's really saying here. Unless you want to be a king and totally rule in full equilibrium of yourself and understand that, hey, to get past this mystery of beliefs and come to a real understanding, sometimes it's a lonely road. You have to do it yourself. Do you know what I mean? People only believe what you believe.
Yeah, you got to kind of leave everything. You know, it's like sometimes you feel that way, that you're alone. I felt that way before. Well, I'm alone and nobody understands me and yada, yada, yada. You know, everybody that's on, I think everybody kind of, from my experience in life, is everybody's living in their own little tower and looking down on everybody else when they don't realize that we're all made up of the same stuff. When you are annoyed with somebody or you don't like what somebody's doing, really, you don't like that bad part of yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And you see it.
Doesn't mean you got to hang around it, though.
No, of course not. But that's what it is. You see it. So the big part of the allegories today with these stories, have to look at these characters and see how certain people, like in Christ's story, what they represented. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's look at King Arthur's story, take it back to that, a great Rosicrucian story, which people say it's about the Holy Grail. And it is. The Holy Grail's Tipperary. It's the Grail's my man. You need to understand this stuff, that alchemy itself was really pointing to, especially with the Holy Grail story, is alchemy is everlasting life, and it's understanding that you're what? You're a god. You're little Elohims. As I said earlier, proselyte, Onkelos the proselyte says, yeah, we're the Elohim, but except we don't know. And this is where the great mystery is how do you create gods? Little gods? Well, you put them in some place, some creche where they can be destructive with their language and whatnot.
And suffer.
Yeah, and
you got to understand that too.
Suffering. There ain't suffering, there ain't king. We can make this place beautiful tomorrow, man. All we need to do is just go out and say, what's up, neighbour? What do you think of this? We need to fix this, man. See, if we don't fix it, then these fictions we've created are going to kill us. Yeah, these fictions we've created are going to kill us. Like where I live, I'm walking down the street the other day, right? And like, I've not even walked to the shops. It's like not even 100 yards, and I've seen 7 flags, 7 American flags. And I'm like, fucking hell, man! You, sorry, pardon my language, you would think I was in the Middle East. So there's all these flags everywhere. Didn't get that back home in Scotland. Nobody's interested because there's a fiction. There's another fictional thing we've bought into. We're sons and daughters of nations instead of sons and daughters of the universe, this planet. We're universal beings, instead we're stuck on a planet and we want to be sons and daughters of nations instead of unified as one people.
I was going to ask you, Paul, do you think that, in your opinion, you know how like there seems to be like civilizations like Atlantis and Egypt and things like that where they do ascend, you know, and maybe they have activated their DNA and they've become higher beings on this planet, and all of a sudden they get wiped out, right? Do you think that that's going to happen to us too, or do you think that cycle is just going to continue? Because there's a lot of people that think, well, there's an ascension of beings, and then they create a great world like Atlantis or Egypt or Rome or whatever once they start to become enlightened. Yeah, and then they get wiped out again, you know.
But how do they get wiped out? Because what's happening just now is you've got people arguing over stupid stuff. You've got people arguing over...
flood.
Yeah, you've got, like now in America, I'm hearing things like white privilege. And I'm looking about and saying there is white privilege. There's too many like rich billionaire, millionaire peoples. But I'm saying, there's more than just white people who are like this. Look at all these rap stars. Do you know what I mean? Who've got all this copious amounts of money and stuff. And I'm thinking, no, this is a dialectic. Somebody's playing against people to get us all fighting. Because they know we're all full of belief. So what happens is, eventually crazies come about, and then because of our beliefs and stuff, then wars come about. Do you know what I mean? Cultures collide in class instead of let's look at what we can all agree on is set. And no matter where you go in the world, we've all got the same wants. If you go to China, the guy in China wants a nice house, wants a car, wants these kids to have nice clothes and go to a good school and eat good food. Let's go to Pakistan, a Muslim. He wants the same, wants nice roads, hospitals, good schools for his kids. It's universal. But we didn't want that, to give that to everybody. It's all turned into businesses and corporations, fictional things, which is really Satan. That's the devil. The devil exists amongst us and we've created it, and it's fictional things. Fictions. Yeah, fictions.
Well, I'm more talking about a deluge that wipes out the human race. Kind of like what John Anthony West is talking about and things like that.
I don't think so. I think basically there'll always be wars until we correct us, until we all come to understanding we're all one peoples. And I think we're getting to this stage now. The people are saying, wait a minute, this rainbow tribe, which is everybody, this Israel, this 13th tribe of Israel, which is basically us all. Is the enlightenment's happening, and people are seeing past it and saying, wait a minute, man, you need to chill out. These warmonger guys with your mad beliefs need to chill out. Let's look at even people who are considered terrorists today in America, who are known as sovereign citizens, who are just looking at magicians to do with law. And look how law applies to us. And everybody obeys the law here. And what's law? It's just words.
Kurt's still stuck on the demon thing.
Demons. You create these demons. We've created these demons through all these years. Is when Jesus cast the thing out, what did they say? We're legion, for we're many. Because you create us. You create us every time you curse and use mad language and do bad things. Then you create us. Unknowingly, because you're in this realm of abracadabra. Really, and this is when if you want to
Daniel Joseph talks about that too, that we constantly create bad elementals in these realms all the time.
Constantly. Because of the way we speak, and we're known folk and knowledge of how our words work. And Adam, we're Adams, we're the sons of Adam. And what was Adam given for God? He was given the gift to name everything in the universe, to name everything in the universe, to give it a name. He said, we're down here cursing each other. That's what I mean, cursing each other, unknowingly, magically cursing each other constantly. Yeah. And then they say, how can you get to another dimension? We're going to let you into the other dimension, Eden type thing, when you're running about cursing each other. Come on. Even thinking of thing in our dimension, you're going to create it. Even thinking it, we can't even control our thoughts. We can't control our words. At times, never mind our thoughts. Do you know what I mean? So look at it that way. And
so you're saying we're a long ways away from enlightenment?
No, Joe. I wouldn't say we're a long way. I say we're getting there. People are getting that way.
Birth pains.
You know, it's interesting.
Adam's still in creation.
what you're saying, Paul, is totally correct, because I'm seeing a trend, and you've probably seen this too, Joe, especially on the internet, where we have celebrities now, like, for instance, Jim Carrey. He's going around saying he's awake. I mean, I don't. No, seriously. I mean, I don't know what exactly what he means, but I kind of getting that feeling that there is a trend where people are going towards that type of shift. Does that make sense?
Well, Jim Carrey had a profound moment of oneness, is what you would call it. Like he even admits it. He had a profound moment of oneness when he started contemplating, who was aware that he was thinking, right? So he was in a deep meditative state. He had a profound moment of oneness, and he, that I forget the word for it, what they call it. And he said he's been trying to get back there ever since, right? But he realized this is the same thing that happens to people when they smoke DMT, right? You could take a non-believer and they go smoke a little DMT, and it shifts their consciousness until they're one with everything, and they realize that we're all the same stuff. And so he's going around telling everybody that none of this stuff matters. We're all the same thing. We're all one. And he's spreading that message. Meanwhile, you see how people are looking at him like, this guy's crazy or whatever, right? But is he really crazy? He's not crazy. He just might have had a little peer into Kether or something, maybe a little bit, just for a moment. It only happens for a moment anyways.
Just changed his perception and looked at life a different way, and it's like you look at the great philosophers, Voltaire and Descartes. They've come up with these concepts years ago. Who am I? What am I? Why am I here? Do you know what I mean? I think, therefore I am. Or what's this great mystery of it all? Like, does God exist? Well, people say, well, God doesn't exist. Like Stephen Dawkins and stuff. Oh, God doesn't exist. There's no such thing as God. We've created it and whatnot. Well, explain mitosis. Can't get away from there's a scientific explanation for God. Mitosis, single cell, monad. There's a monad explained. Mitosis, beautiful. It's scientific, that's what I mean. So it's looking at these things rationally and then scientifically. I think Elvis Levi talked about this in the Keys to the Mystery, how to try and bring these paradoxical concepts together and understand them. But with Jim Carrey...
Dennis said, I thought Jim Carrey had a bipolar moment, and that was it.
Nice.
Well, everybody's mad. Everybody down here is mad.
Yeah.
We're all crazy down here. But anyway.
I'll never forget what Stephen Ash told me, right, one time when I told him, because he was I would say, probably one of the best real magicians I ever talked to. And Paul can vouch for this, right? I was extremely frustrated with some fights that were happening on the internet, and these people that are just fighting about their beliefs and all this other stuff. A lot of ego getting tossed around, And I started falling for it. And, Stephen would say, Joseph, you just have to look at the tree, at a Kabbalistic tree, and ask yourself, which part of you on this tree are you giving into? And a lot of the times it would be severity. Gavura, you'd be full of Mars and severity. Does that make sense, Dave? Like, you've looked at the tree, you see that Sephiroth there. That's what it represents.
Mm-hmm.
But there's good things about that too, though. Without it, we wouldn't have motion. We wouldn't have driving force.
For every two, there is a fro. For every stop, there is a go. That's what makes the world go round. But sometimes he passed the polarity things and realised there isn't any polarity. There's just oneness, and that there's cosmic friction or whatnot. Sometimes it's a lot. We create a lot of it because we want to be kings instead of realising we're in a kingdom full of other kings and queens, and that's what comes down to like magic, innit? Will, back to Aleister Crowley and people's will, and we've all got free will. So
what's a brownie cat?
Yeah, exactly. What happens if somebody's telling you something that's not true, and it's going against your will, and you're believing it? I mean, what does that make you? It makes you their puppet. They can manipulate you easy through emotions and whatnot because your beliefs. This beliefs is a funny thing. This is Nietzsche and all the greats spoke about these things, your beliefs, and I've emphasised a bit tonight. Like, and I always do, because you need to watch them, what's truth and what's not, and try and find the oneness in it, the oneness in everything. Because that is oneness, like we're talking about with the monad, mitosis. It explains it. It does explain it. Big Bang Theory. What began with a word created vibration, because best way analogy to 7 hermetic principles came from abracadabra. We're in a realm of words in it, so we get to name things, but we're stuck in this box, which is Yesod, Malkuth, sorry, which is Malkuth controlled by Yesod, you could say, which is the moon. Yeah. And
Did you get all that? Did you get all that, Dave?
Yes and no. I'm gonna be honest.
Malkuth's kingdom, right? Malkuth means kingdom, Dave, and it's represented with King David. As King David was known as Adonai, which means Lord. So when you say the name of the God, Lord, which is a singular term for God as well. So they say Adonai. So when you look at the tales of King David, the allegories and parables, it's showing you how to be a king, how to be the perfect king. Solomon was a good king, but David was a better king. Yeah, so it's one of those ones.
Solomon gave in to his ways too in the end. Isn't that a fascinating story?
Yeah, Solomon ended up like, I think it wasn't Moabite. It was
gave in to women.
He gave in to women, but he actually worshipped a particular tribe's god, which really pissed God off. Like, because he said, I don't care what you do, just didn't go worshipping any false gods, man. Because you know that there's the singular monad, which is the all source. We may get different names in different places, but still the same God. It's just the monad. Allah is an interesting one, really, because that's a reference towards the Elohim, which is plural, which is the gods, which God created as kings and rulers. Yeah. But yeah, biblical stuff, when you start to look at the names, is deep. This is where it gets deep.
Okay.
This is when everybody wants to ape it and say, oh, we want to keep away from that subject to etymology and stuff like that. It's like, no.
Are you saying people don't want to, did you say people don't want to talk about etymology?
Yeah, some people, when you're speaking about Bible stuff, Joseph, they don't want to speak about the etymology, the words and the deeper meanings of these names and, yeah, what they mean. Because you know yourself sometimes, like I was saying there, Elohim's a name for God, and Elohim's plural. So how can God be plural? Throws up good questions if you're looking at it, right, Joseph? Do you know what I mean? If you're looking at it logically with reasons and stuff like this. You know, what most do.
Well, you got to think, if we were taught that in church from the time we were kids, if we sat in church and they said in the beginning, gods and goddesses in plural form, gods and goddesses plural, created the heavens and the earth.
No, but doesn't he say that? Because that's leaving interpretation for saying
it's Elohim is just a plural form of God, though. There's other people saying that. That was what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, but what happens is Bereshit bara Elohim et the heavens, Hashayim et Haaretz, which is the heaven and earth, which is the seven first words, the first 7 words of the Bible, which is God created the heavens and the earth. God created the heavens and the earth, right? And that's, it does say that. But it's Bereshit bara Elohim, and it's always doing these interpretations of this. What it means in Bereshit, you can do so many things with it. Created 6. Because sheet means 6 in Aramaic. And Bera is created. Right? So he created 6 and it gets to Elohim, which is God. So it's saying, I've created something, right? And I've created these gods, what are kings and rulers, and they're going to look after it for me. Some people have defined this as the Edomite kings. There's a lot of references to the Edomite kings where they were, and then they became bad.
So why do you think God refers to himself as I am? I just want to know why you think that.
Because it's singular, isn't it? Joseph, he's without bounds. He's without any enemies. He's without any opposite. So he is who he is. It is I am who I am. I am who I am. So what's I'm Ein Sof, undefinable, unknowable to you, and always will be. I always see he. That's me anthropomorphizing God again. Do you know what I mean? But that's what we do. When really it's not a thing. God is no thing. But to say God is no thing is a great Kabbalistic. That's the Zohar. Daniel Matt speaks about this. To say that's kind of heretical. When God is no thing. Because he's nothing we can identify him with or it with and say, oh, that's God. But he's everything. Everything. So this is what it's saying. God is nothing you can.
You think he said it because he created everything, or he is everything?
I think it is everything. I think we're inside something, Joseph. We're inside something. Yeah.
We're inside something?
The universe itself. Yeah, like the cubic space. We're inside this cubic space. Protected for something, like some great scheme. Something, whatever this thing is, who's decided to have thought and whatever, speech. And because to do these things, God has to be active. This thing has to be active. Which states that it's of something, it's of a body, it's corporeal instead of incorporeal. Do you know what I mean? As Maimonides said.
What about evil, though, Paul? Did God create evil?
Well, yeah. God did create evil, and he states in his book that he created evil, because if he didn't create evil, Joseph, then everything would be good.
Wouldn't he be evil then, too, if he's everything?
No, but everything would be good. If God never created evil for us to be able to juxtapose and look at these opposites, the duality of it, Joe, and then we wouldn't get it. We wouldn't get it. We'd go into the universe like merry idiots, raping and plundering everything and murdering all sorts of beings. It's like, imagine letting, let's say, some of these rebel terrorists and these Islamic, or even the American military sometimes, letting them go to another planet. Do you know what I'm saying? Some mad redneck. Here, I'm here to give you Jesus, man. You're going to love my God. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's pretty good.
The holy word of God. What do you think the word of God is, Paul?
It's the word of God. The word of God is really easy, Joe. It's two things, right? And a part of Kabbalah is looking at gematria and finding words that correlate to each other. Mm-hmm. Years ago, there was a man called Bob Marley who I grew up from a small kid. My mum always loved reggae music. It was a big thing in Scotland. Was like in the 60s, and that was Motown and you could see black music. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So reggae music was another one. I was raised in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Bob sure. Marley, but what do you think the word of God is?
The word of God is one love, man. That's it. One love. One love, which is both 13. And you add it together, you get the same gematria as Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh. So the word of God was the actual creation word, Joe, what he used to create everything in the universe. For me, would have been it.
So it's not the letters that are written on books?
No. It. Everything was created with what? How do we create everything? If you're a God, right, and God says you're a wee God, you're a wee microprocessor of me. You're a small reflection of me. So how do we create everything? Everything we create, I'm sitting right now and I'm speaking to you on headphones. Right? Somebody's created this thing and gave it a name. Headphones. So everything I use is done through words. I'm sitting conceptualizing everything I'm saying in every words. Everything we create is words. So basically, how did God create? He created with the alphabet. He created with the word. He created with the number. So what he said, he, she, it, the incorporeal lines of Eya, Asha, Eya, said, I don't know, Joe, mate, that's another great mystery. That's one of the great concealed mysteries of Kabbalah. There's loads of mysteries in Kabbalah. That's why it's the greatest of mystery studying, because it's
another topic
stuff
for another
like
show.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody now God's a hermaphrodite. I don't know if we're getting through, Paul.
Yeah, it's getting kind of weird in the chat, but
I don't know if God's a hermaphrodite, but who you see that God's anything? Who you see that God is anything? This is why these greats have always said it. Like Maimonides, there's a statue of him in the Senate building, massive statue, Maimonides. And he states that we don't know what God is. Who you presume you know God?
Could be an alien, right?
It could be. Let's look at the Elohim. What's this plural form? Could be aliens. Really could be. For me, it probably is. There's a form of that. We are probably ruled over by like other aliens who are looking down at us and saying, we can't let these things out into the universe. Imagine these things on spaceships.
Can't let them out of their cage, right?
That's what I'm saying, Joe. We're going to other planets and try, in the name of Jesus, we're bringing you the Bible. Do you know what I mean? Shooting some poopy alien
got
guys.
that down, Joe.
Yeah, he does.
In the name
You have
of
to come
Jesus.
down here to Arkansas. I'll take you to some places where that really happens.
Boy, and speak about baby Jesus.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you should hear my African accent. Is people say, "Oh, that's racist," but really, I've read Africa, and my African accent is like, it's just amazing. It really is.
Do it. I want to hear it.
No, your bank account. Let me get it right. Hello, sir. We just need your bank account details and short code, please. Is this Joseph Rope? Hello, Joseph. You have one.
You want my routing number too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Or baby but Jesus. In Nigeria, they talk about baby but Jesus.
Tell everybody how they can become a sunkeeper, Paul.
Yeah.
A sunkeeper. It's just study. It's study and try and learn how to think for yourself. You really use the best way to do is use dialectics. Always use the opposite. This is what somebody's saying, and try and find for yourself. Come to your own understanding. So the true sunkeepers for me is read the greats, read the great philosophers and thinkers, and even some of the ones who are like maybe no great philosophers and thinkers, rogues. Read the rogues like Crowley and stuff like this as well. Because even the devil, you could say he's got something to say. Yeah, there's knowledge everywhere. You just be able to have the eyes to see it. So to be a sunkeeper is just use dialectics. Come to your own understanding with things. And hopefully, eventually, if I get a website set up, I've got a multitude of PDFs I could share with people. But some texts, obviously, I would keep because you can't share them. But there'll be a lot of books for people to read and study, and then they can go and find these books that are magical and Solomonic and in the sense of being able to conjure stuff and go and do it themselves. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not really wanting to speak about certain keys of Solomon. Because they work. They do work. And other texts, like the Abramelin, they're hard books to get, and they work. You maybe get snippets of them on the internet, but it's not the full text, so you really need the book. But, yeah, I'm really much...
I think that's a good point to end the show, is to definitely be able to find your information, Paul, on Facebook.
Yeah, you find me on the path. Me and Jacob, it's only the 2 years ago, me and Jacob J. Lieberwiener, man, he's like, the guy's a great Gnostic, he's a great Kabbalist, he's really clued up in alchemy, and he's a good friend, do you know what I mean? And Jacob, it's just me and Jacob been posting for like the past 2 years, and we spoke about this stuff, and he's got the same outlook as me. It's like, let's use art just to pluck up interest for people, and and eventually, hopefully, when I've got money and I got a website, if there's any good website designers out there who want to help us, then eventually I've got a nice website set up for people, and just so we can share this knowledge and get it out there, so like there's no so many of your guru type bullshitters saying, come to me and I will give you the keys to the world. Well, I'm not want to do that. I'm just sitting here.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
well,
do it for yourself, innit?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're all right, Dave. That's what I'm just saying. Just to say to people here, be your own guru. Do it for yourself, innit?
Thank you, Paul, for coming on tonight. I greatly appreciate it. It's been a fantastic show. And Joe, thank you as well. And we are going to see you next week, right?
If everything, hopefully.
Hopefully. I think that's a yes. So for everyone out there, thank you. This is Dave Cruz. thank you again, Paul, and thank you again, Joe, for being on the show tonight. And this is my signing off for Spaced Out Radio Saturday nights. Tune in for S4 after this show. And remember Elizabeth Anglin with Psychic Sundays tomorrow night. I really greatly appreciate everyone giving me the chance to do the show on Saturday. And I'll be checking in once in a while. So y'all have a good night. Stay safe. Hasta.
When the clocks, they never stop, they barricade my face. When the clocks keep building up, they suffocate my brain. I built them to destroy myself. They're circling the brain.